motherfuckers? It's Dusty Smith here. You guys know me, it's Dusty. Love you guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the CODcast, episode 27. All you motherfuckers were like, hey, Dusty, it's obvious you're only going to do like 3 episodes of the CODcast and never going to do any more. Well, fuck y'all. I'm on 27, motherfuckers. I'm killing this shit. I'm having a really good time doing this show. I want to thank everybody who's fucking supporting this show. As always, start the show by telling you guys about my Patreon, CODcast. That's what my Patreon is, patreon.com/CODcast. We're up to $343 a month. We didn't get any new Patreons after my last show. God damn it, Dusty. Get your shit together. No one likes you. Everybody hates you. But it doesn't matter. Gonna keep going. If you guys like the show, please consider supporting it. You guys are the only reason I do this show. And as always, super chats. No super chats yet. But super chats are the lifeblood of the show. So if you guys want to support the show, if you want me to keep doing this, if you like the show, if you like this long form content, please consider supporting me on Super Chat. No question is dodged. Every question is answered. And almost all the money I make on Super Chats goes to the Humanist Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary, where we go and we rescue little cute doggies and kitties and give them a fucking good home with their little spoiled asses. So, Super Chats, please. As always, have a great show for you guys lined up tonight. I'm just sitting around enjoying my milkshake. Fuck, it's been in the freezer. It's too fucking thick to suck. That's what she said. Hope no one gets triggered up this. Don't get triggered by my milkshake. Hopefully it'll bring out the boys in the yard. So you guys know about this? Apparently milkshakes are the new fascist nightmare. Fascists everywhere fucking freaking out about goddamn milkshake. I'll show you guys. I got a bunch of bookmarks and shit here. So Rob Russo says, not everything is bad, and apparently a lot of right-wing chuds have been getting milkshaked lately. This is Tommy Robinson. We're going to go over him and show a clip later where he basically tells his minions, wait till the cameras are off and just punch old people in the face. Yep, that's what kind of goon this guy is. He got milkshaked. Yay for you. And then, Carl Benjamin. Carl Benjamin got milkshaked yesterday. That's when I put out my chart for how many points you score by milkshaking these guys, which I'll show you in a minute. And immediately, the very same morning, somebody scored 500 points by milkshaking Carl. So, good on you, I guess. Way to get the high score, getting way ahead of all of us. And I look at Carl's face. Carl is like, holy shit. He's starting to realize what his life is now. What have I gotten myself into? I don't even want to be fucking a politician. Like, why am I doing this? I'm going to get milkshaked everywhere I go now. And yep. Pretty much that's what's going to happen. And also Nigel Farage, or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even care. But he's a right-wing goon from UK politics. And he got beautifully milkshaked. And look at this guy. This guy blew it. You're fired, dude. You're so fucking fired. I got to go over more on that later. But apparently Burger King pissed everybody off. Burger King decided to jump on this and make a joke out of it. And Burger King says, dear people of Scotland, we're selling milkshakes all weekend. Have fun. Love BK. Hashtag just saying. And it's obvious they're just fucking joking. They're like, hey, if you're going to fucking milkshake people anyway, why not buy our milkshakes from Burger King? They're delicious. And it doesn't matter if they're delicious or not because you're just going to dump them all over people. Do it! But people were like, no, Burger King. That is not acceptable. No, you cannot do this. You are a fucking company. You cannot go out and you cannot condone violence because everybody knows that milkshaking people is violence. But I'm like, is it though? Is that violence? I'm not real sure about that. Let's look up the word violence real quick. Let's see what the definition of the word violence is. And let's see if dumping milkshakes on people matches the definition of violence. As always, if you see porn up here, just ignore it. You know I'm a freak. All right, violence. Behavior involving physical force intending to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Okay, a milkshake is physical force, I guess. You are physically putting it on somebody. But is the intention to hurt them? No, it's not to physically hurt them. It's to hurt their pride, maybe, and to embarrass them. So it doesn't really fit there. It's not to damage them, at least physically, right? You're not trying to physically hurt them. You're not trying to kill them. So is this violence? I don't know. It's rude. Definitely rude. Definitely. It's kind of an asshole thing to do. It's messy and not something you really want. But is it violence? Nah, not so much, I don't think. I don't really think that's violence. And I think, honestly, if right-wingers were milkshaking lefties and left-wingers were like, this is violence, then right-wingers would be like, you guys are such snowflakes, thinking getting milkshake dumped on you is violence. That's so stupid. Oh, my God. That's exactly what they'd be saying. But anyway, they're all pissed off at Burger King. They're going to fucking boycott Burger King, which I don't think Burger King gives much of a fuck about, to be quite honest with you. Why would they really? And, there's been an awful lot of talk about whether I would or wouldn't milkshake Carl Benjamin. And I've been in a lot of trouble for my hardline stance of not even milkshaking him. But I suppose with enough pressure, I might cave. And obviously, this is making fun of something that Carl Benjamin said. This is a direct quote from Carl Benjamin where he said, "There's been an awful lot of talk about whether I would or wouldn't rape Jess Phillips." Is that her name? I've been in a lot of trouble for my hardline stance of not even raping her. I suppose with enough pressure, I might cave, which is clearly a rape joke. If that's a rape joke if I've ever heard one. Now, before, when he was saying, "I wouldn't even rape you," then maybe you can get away with saying, "Oh, that's not a rape joke. That's a I wouldn't even rape you joke." That's saying you wouldn't rape her. But when he says, "I might cave under enough pressure, I might cave and rape you under enough pressure," that's a rape joke. That officially becomes a rape joke. He told a rape joke. No weaseling the fuck out of that one. He told a rape joke. Let's be honest about it. And so basically I'm just making fun of him. It's so easy to dunk on this guy when he's taking the position he has because the position he's taking is so fucking ridiculous. But, and look, I'm not saying you should all go out and milkshake Carl every time he is in public. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that if you guys do that, then I will just claim that I can't control my audience and I wash my hands of any harassment I might have influenced. Simple as that. And that's exactly what these guys do. They harass people. Like he went out in public and he lied about Jess Phillips and said that she was laughing about male suicide and that because of that she deserved to have rape jokes made about her. And she got incredibly harassed by people because Carl is the leader of a bunch of fucking immature goons, a bunch of trolls who believe him when he says this woman made jokes about male men committing suicide, white men committing suicide. And so obviously she got harassed for that, and now he says, "Oh well, I can't be blamed for what my audience does. I can't be blamed for what my jokes influence. Don't fucking blame shit on me, snowflakes." Well, we can do the same exact thing to you, can we, Carl? We can say exactly the same thing to you, and it's beautiful. Fucking love how beautiful this shit is. And then I put out my milkshake score chart, and this tweet got more likes than any tweet I think I've ever put out. I only have like 4,000 subscribers on my current Twitter, which is CultDusty1, CultDusty1, CultDusty1. Thanks to somebody who I won't name, whose fan base had me permanently banned from Twitter. My new account only has 4,000 subscribers, so I got like 2,000 likes for this, so that's pretty good. And it's my milkshake score charts. Milo Yiannopoulos, 250 points. Count Dankula, 250 points. Tommy Robinson, 300 points. Gun Girl, 350 points. Ben Shapiro, 600. Lauren Southern, 400. Paul Joseph Watson, 400. Carl Benjamin, 500. First one to 1,000 is a legend. Hells yeah. Now we finally got something to aim for. Obviously, this is not a complete chart. There are other people that need to be added to the chart, other right-wing chuds. And I just kind of made up these numbers off the top of my head. So if you guys don't think that Ben Shapiro should be worth more than Lauren Southern, hey, make your own chart. That's fine. But people seem to love this. It's a fun new game. Milkshakes at chuds. But hey, look. Calm down, conservatives. Seriously, dudes. Everybody's freaking out at me about this. But calm down, dudes. I'm not actually a milkshaker, okay? I'm not a milkshaker. You can say I'm a milkshaker, but I'm not a fucking milkshaker. I'm only ironically pretending to be a milkshaker to trigger you. Are you triggered? Are you triggered, conservatives? Oh, you're so triggered. Look how triggered you are. Hey, look. If actual milkshakers hide behind my jokes and are inspired by them, I can't control my audience, all right? Stop being triggered by jokes, snowflakes. It's just memes, bro. Seriously, I'm just joking around about the whole fucking milkshake thing. If they milkshake you, that's not my fault, okay? I'm using the exact same logic you use, aren't I, Carl? When it gets turned around against you, it's not that great, is it? Not that amazing, in my opinion. But anyway, oh my God, fucking Carl, dude. So he's out debating people because he's a genius. And let me just play for you what he said. This is Carl for you. He'll say something and then he'll 30 seconds later said, "I never said that." He literally says here, his argument, this is really funny. So he's arguing with this guy about veganism or vegetarianism. I know it's vegan. I know it's not vegan, but fuck all y'all. I like to pronounce things wrong because it's funny and I like it. So anyway, he's talking to the guy about veganism and he's an idiot, obviously. So his big argument is, hey, you eat plants, and what's the difference between eating plants and animals? Because plants feel pain. They've done studies, and plants feel pain. And the guy's like, no, plants don't feel pain, you fucking moron. And then Carl is like, literally 30 seconds later, it's like, I never said plants feel pain. Yeah, you did say that. And So anyway, this is typical Carl. Why this kind of gaffe matters is this is just what he generally does. He refuses to acknowledge when he's wrong ever, and so his default stance in his mind, since he's such a narcissist, is I didn't say that. I must not have said that. He doesn't even remember what the fuck he says 30 seconds earlier, because that's what a fucking idiot he is. So let's look.
The problem with the vegan argument is that there is actually no limiting principle in that. So, I mean, once we've said, right, okay, no one's going to eat animals anymore, why do we still eat plants?
Why do we still eat plants?
Yeah.
Because they're not sentient?
Yeah, but they do feel pain.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. I will argue this to death with you. They do not feel pain.
Exactly.
Have you got a record? Do you think plants feel pain?
No, they do suffer. They apparently suffer.
No, have no sexual nervous system, no brain. It's scientific.
Yeah, but that's a very privileged position, isn't it?
No, that's just science.
Now, listen, you don't need a central nervous system to suffer. You can suffer in a...
Prove to me that plants can feel pain.
If you let me... okay. I didn't say pain because...
I didn't say pain. I didn't say pain. Let's watch it again. Did he say pain? Let's take another look at this, shall we?
Right, okay, no one's going to eat animals anymore. Why do we still eat plants?
Why do we still eat plants?
Yeah.
Because they're not sentient?
Yeah, but they do feel pain.
They do feel pain. Yeah, you definitely said it. No, they don't. And then you said,
Yes, they do.
yes, they do. Yes, they do feel pain. So you said it twice there. And literally 30 seconds later, I never said that. You're misquoting me. Out of context. Out of context. No, dude. That's what you fucking said.
They do not feel pain.
Exactly.
Have you got a record? Do you think plants feel pain?
No, they do suffer. They apparently suffer.
No, have no sexual nervous system, no brain. It's scientific.
Yeah, but that's a very privileged position, isn't it?
No, that's just science.
Now, listen, you don't need a central nervous system to suffer. You can suffer in a...
Prove to me that plants can feel pain.
If you let me... okay. I didn't say pain because they all suffer. But they can suffer. And there was an experiment done where literally they yelled at a plant every day.
Okay.
And they didn't yell at another plant as a control group. And the other plant flourished and this plant didn't.
Okay, this is stupid on so many fucking levels. It's really hard to like explain them all without charts and diagrams. How many fucking different levels this is so goddamn stupid on. Oh my god. All right, well, first of all, let's talk about the study, quote unquote, that Carl is talking about. Oh my god, it's just so ridiculous. Let's see if I can find it here. Maybe somebody, if I put it here. I had it bookmarked, but so the study he is talking about wasn't even a fucking study. The study he is talking about is oh, here it is. So it was it was done by the IKEA, the company IKEA, as a publicity stunt, and it was a sample size of 2 plants. Here we go. This plant supposedly they complimented, and this plant they supposedly yelled at, and this plant did slightly better. This is the scientific study Carl is talking about. It's a literal fucking publicity stunt from IKEA, the furniture manufacturer. Okay, no control whatsoever. We have no idea what the fuck they did with this. They could have poisoned this plant over here for all the fuck we know. We have no clue. I mean, it's a publicity stunt. They could have done any fucking thing. But if you've ever raised plants, and I have, I'll talk about this more in a minute, but I have kind of a history growing up with guerrilla growing marijuana. That's kind of like one of my family businesses. Like I grew up really, really, really fucking poor in the South, and we didn't have like any money or anything. Obviously, we didn't have any land. My family didn't have any fucking land. So my uncles would go out on other people's lands and on public property, and they would guerrilla grow marijuana. And so they would take me out and they would teach me, the family business and stuff. And I could tell you right off the bat that 2 different plants, either they come from the seeds from the same fucking plant. You plant them, and the 2 seeds, even in the exact same conditions, the plants will grow up completely different. They can have the exact same conditions, and one plant will do much better than the other one will. So this is not a scientific study. This is nothing. This is literally fucking nothing. This is Carl just putting something out of his ass. And he probably didn't even read this study. He probably doesn't even know it's IKEA. He probably saw a headline, and like Carl does, he doesn't actually read or study anything, but he saw a headline, and he's probably like, oh, well, I'm going to put that away in my memory Rolodex for later, so when I'm arguing with vegan, I can pull this little nugget out of my ass and say, oh, plants feel pain. Plants can suffer. And this is the exact same guy who tells us that words don't hurt people. That if you're hurt by his rape jokes, that you're just a fucking snowflake. And regardless of what women's groups and rape charities and shit tell us, that making jokes and belittling rape victims like that actually adds to their pain and hurts them and makes them want to withdraw from society. They decided to show that, but no, Carl says, no, that's not true. Fucking words don't hurt humans, but they do hurt plants. This is Carl's brilliant thesis. So anyway, it's dumb on so many different levels, obviously, and then it's really, like I said, hard to point out. We don't eat, obviously, I don't eat animals because I have empathy towards animals. I raise like dogs and cats, and I realize that they have their own personalities, and they do feel joy, and they feel pain, and they seem to feel love. They seem to love the shit out of me, and they smile, and they're happy. And I know the difference between like a dog and a pig is very minimal. You know, I think that they're very, very similar. The difference between a dog and a cow is just a size thing, really, right? And so I have this experience with animals, and so that makes me feel bad about eating and leading to the suffering of other animals. And I'm not the same with plants because plants don't have nervous systems and they can't contemplate feelings of pain and suffering and abuse and hate and all that. It's totally fucking different, okay? It's such a stupid fucking argument, but it's Carl's, you know. What else do we expect from Carl? Carl's a fucking moron. So, here's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, people are just mad at Carl because they can't take a joke. No, dude, that's so stupid framing. That's completely dishonest framing. Sargon lied to his fan base full of unstable losers and told them a female politician was so vile that she laughed about male suicide. And he also told them that she deserved to have rape jokes made about her over it because she is so vile. And that directly led to so many of these chuds fucking directly harassing her over it. That's why people are mad at him, okay? Not because they can't take a joke. It's just a joke. The left is killing comedy. No, dude. He's lying about people, making rape jokes about survivors of sexual assault. She's a sexual assault victim, right? And people are using rape and sexual assault to harass her with because they're following his influence over his joke. And that's why people are pissed, because he's a fucking piece of shit. It has nothing to do with this narrative that, oh, we just don't have a sense of humor. Why can't you find rape jokes funny? Because you're not funny. You're not a comic, and you're not funny anyway. You're just a disgusting, vile human. But these two people, these two Carl Benjamin fans, they do not approve of milkshaking Carl. Do not milkshake Carl, according to these obviously very, very successful ladies' men here who... Clearly big Carl. Oh, and I didn't even notice, but I wish I could zoom in on this. But somebody pointed this out to me, that this guy is wearing sunglasses, and then he's also wearing like bifocals on the edge of his nose. What a fucking absolute... Let me see if I can zoom in and show you. What an absolute madman. Look at him. Madman. What the fuck happened, dude? God damn it. What is happening, computer? Live show. Here we go. Yep, there you go. You can see him now. Got his sunglasses on and fucking bifocals to the end of his nose. Madman, what an insane dude. Carl Benjamin sure can pick him, can he? He's got the crazy followers, don't he? They're like, don't you fucking milkshake Carl Benjamin. We will tackle you to the ground, motherfucker. You don't even understand. You don't even understand. And they got fucking Nigel Farage, too. Nigel Farage. Got his ass, and yep, roger that. We have a milky boy on our hands. I repeat, the boy is milky. He is a very milky boy. Over. And yeah, this guy, feel bad for him almost. You know, there's a team of security guys for these right-wing chuds running around at meetups now going, what are you doing with that milkshake? What is in that cup? What is in that cup? You go away immediately. Fuck off. So that's kind of hilarious that the milkshake is the new terrorist symbol towards... right-wing chuds. Chud's my new favorite word. I think that's a good word that describes them because they are very chud-like. Let's see here. And speaking of vegetarian meals, might as well plug this. This is what I had last night. Vegetarian meal. At least I think that's what I had last night. Good vegetarian meal. Very easy to make. Cornbread. Honey cornbread. Pan-baked honey cornbread, even fucking better for some reason. It's in my new copper pan that I bought, non-stick. Hells yeah, Dusty's cooking like a motherfucker. And I made it with can of butter. Hells yeah. So this is what I did. I got this friend who lives in Denver, and he hooked me up with this laboratory-grown hydroponic weed. The fucking, literally the best weed on earth. You can't possibly get any better. It's like lab-grown, hydroponic grown from the best fucking strains you can possibly get. He gave it to me. But, like, I can't be having a bunch of weed right around here because it's like, it's sort of a little bit illegal where I live. So instead, I took the whole thing and I made the world's best fucking can of butter out of it. I had this machine called a magical butter machine, and it's a machine specifically designed to make the best can of butter in the fucking world. So I took the best weed on earth and I put it inside the best machine to make can of butter in the world, and I made the best fucking can of butter on the goddamn face of the earth. And I assume it's good. I can't remember. Because that shit ain't no joke, so be careful. Be careful when you have can of butter like this, for sure. But, I don't know, it looks good. I'll have to tell you guys next time I have it if I remember. And this is, speaking of people who can't cook, This is what Carl Benjamin looks like when he makes breakfast. And this is from Doc Hackenbush. Click, motherfucker, click! Come on, you can do it. Come on. So close. You're so close. Load. There you go. Come on. It's just a short gift. There you go. Boom! Oh, nope. This sucks. Come on, goddammit. I need a new computer. Fuck. Okay. Fuck this. I'm done waiting on you. I tried, fucking gift. You wouldn't work with me. So suck a dick. All right. Let's stop for a second and read the super chats. Don't have many super chats tonight, but we'll read the couple we have. Morgan Ray has studios. As far as I'm concerned, fascism is an invitation for anyone else to do whatever they want to you. You are a threat to be neutralized. Yeah, I'm not promoting violence on anybody. I'm basically just making jokes about it. I'm not really sure. Like, I think it's funny. I think the milkshake thing's funny. I don't think it really hurts them or anything. And I think it's a good it's a good teachable tool that teaches them just how, like, stupid the narratives they put out about how their jokes don't hurt anybody and they can't control what their fan base does. I think it's good, to point out the hypocrisy of what they're saying. But, I definitely don't promote violence on these people whatsoever. And, I don't know. Other than making jokes about it, I wouldn't go further than that, I don't think. The only thing bad about the milkshaking is the waste of a good milkshake. Yep, it's pretty funny. But I heard that milkshakes over in the UK aren't like really milkshakes. They're just like more like shook milk. So that's what I hear. You fucking UK people don't have good milkshakes. So don't know if that's true or not. Would you consider live conversations with people? Well, I mean, the only guest I ever had on the show was Destiny. And for some reason, it doesn't work very well when I try to have live guests. I don't know why. The technology is not there yet for me for some reason. I don't know if it's my connection or stupid computer or whatever. But yeah, I might do some like pre-recorded live shit eventually and just play it during the show because that's really the only way it's going to work out. So thank you for that. Rave Dubin says, of course, Carl quoted a fake study. Why are we expecting intelligent thought out of him? Yeah, it's like that time that he was telling people that Hitler was probably still alive and he posted a link to a study that supposedly proved that Hitler was still alive. But the very first page, the very first paragraph of the study he posted said that it probably wasn't true. So he literally did not read even the first paragraph of the study he posted. That's Carl Benjamin for you. That's the extent that he goes to. He doesn't really give a shit. Like, he's just a grifter. He's just in this for money, and he knows that if he talks shit about the left and the right-wing grifters who are, like, so quick to pay everybody all this money on the internet, which they are, they're funding these people so much these days. And Carl knows, he knows his audience, knows which side his bread is buttered on, so he's going to grift all he can grift. Morgan Ray has studios. $5 question. Dusty, what is your threshold for regarding violence as responsible or necessary? Hard question. Like, I think for the most part, non-violence is the best way to go, especially during protest. I think that, like, at the lunch counters in the civil rights movement, where the black people just sit at the lunch counters and they let the white people pour milk and pour shit on their face and spit on them and yell at them, and they remain peaceful the whole thing. It just showed who the enemy was, and it was a very, very good way to protest and make the public at large sympathize with you instead of hate you. So I'm more about a non-violent type of protest and whatnot. I don't think we've reached any level just yet where violence is acceptable. But I'd say if you're out there and somebody is promoting violence on somebody else, maybe, I don't know. Hard question. I think the optics of it are too dangerous to do, and I don't think it's necessary. I think we can beat these people with words and ideas and policies and don't really have to resort to violence. But I think violence in the face of violence is acceptable, but otherwise I'm not really a big fan of it. Let's see. Ray Dillon, as long as cookies and cream milkshake is not getting thrown, I'm fine with milkshaking. Yep, I got me a chocolate milkshake. So good. It's still way too thick, though, because I put it in the freezer waiting on the show. So, good, though. I'm not going to throw it at anybody. That would be a definite waste, and don't want to fucking waste my milkshake, because my milkshake brings other boys in the yard. Damn right. They're better than yours. Damn right. They're better than yours. All right, so Silhouette says, have you heard of stochastic terrorism? Yes, I watched that video on stochastic terrorism by, what was that guy's name? I can't remember what his name was, but he's been in the chat a few times. I'm going to have him on the show eventually, probably. But, yeah, the Pewdie Pipeline, is that what you're talking about? Pretty good video on it. It's a relatively new thing where toxic jokes and dog whistling meme culture inspires acts of terror. Yeah, I've been talking about that. That's like one of the main things I've been talking about on this show. The toxic troll culture that's been leading to a lot of the violence. People hiding behind, it's just jokes, bro. But, yeah, we see through that. So, it's just jokes about these milkshakes, bro. Don't get triggered, bro. And so, LOL, 2 plants, that sample size. Yeah, not only is it a small sample size, but it wasn't even like they weren't controlled. This is just like out in the open. Anybody could have done anything. This wasn't a scientific study or anything. And Carl's out there like pulling this out of his ass like, oh, no, scientists have studied it. We know now. Plants suffer. No, Carl. No. Bad, Carl. Bad. And Ratbag, who was a big fucking supporter last week. I really appreciate it. Ratbag's awesome. Gave me $25 and said, fuck milkshakes, get TJ on your show. Now, yeah, we're going to talk about TJ a little bit. Apparently, TJ did a video about the milkshake issue, and he mentioned me twice in the video. Fucking TJ, I'm living rent-free in your head, aren't I? You're obsessed with me, TJ. Obsessed, I say. No, I'm just kidding. He actually didn't say anything mean about me. He showed a picture that I'm going to show. Let's see if I can find that picture. Oh, here it is. He showed this picture. I basically told somebody to make this picture. This is a Banksy picture. Well, the original was a Banksy picture. It's Banksy, and this guy was throwing flowers. And I was like, hey, somebody needs to redo the Banksy picture and have him throwing milkshake instead of flowers. And somebody's like, yep, I'm on it, brother. And they did it immediately, so that's a pretty cool picture. And, yep, the revolution will be pasteurized. It's the fascist new nightmare. Scary, so scary. But anyway, and then he also mentioned me when he was talking about, what was he talking about? Oh, he mentioned Paul Joseph Watson, and he said I get triggered by the fact that he supports Paul Joseph Watson or something. And yeah, like I don't think it's a good idea that you shout Paul Joseph Watson out. In this case, in his video, I think all he did was he said he agreed with Paul Joseph Watson that Burger King was vile. Oh, and I guess he meant because of the food, not because of their little joke about milkshakes. And so I'm not going to shit on TJ too much for that. But yeah, in general, I think supporting and signal boosting for Paul Joseph Watson, who continuously puts out anti-immigration lies and white supremacy propaganda by boosting up the white genocide theory. Let's see if I can find a good example of this in here. I had it bookmarked. Let's see here. Where are you at? Where are you at? I guess I'll come across it organically instead of searching for it. Gotta quit smacking my lips. I hate that. So disgusting sounding. Quit that, Dusty. You could do better. Be professional, fucking dickhead. Oh, another thing. Yeah, Carl Benjamin claimed that he was sexually assaulted. So, like, I don't want to make fun because maybe he was. Like, I have no idea. And then he went out in public and he claimed his wife was sexually assaulted. And hopefully he had her permission to go out and say that. But that's kind of weird. He's like, yeah, man, it's okay that I'm telling rape jokes because my wife was sexually assaulted. So was I. So it's cool. I understand what it's like to be a sexual assault victim. And I think rape jokes are empowering. But this is what he has to say about other women
and the
who were
weight
sexually
of it
assaulted.
Has been completely wasted because...
Yeah, when it comes to women who claim they were sexually assaulted, he's not so quick to believe you. So I have a hard time believing him when he says he's sexually assaulted because you got to bring evidence, Carl. According to your own logic, bring evidence. Let's listen.
That it'll just lose its power. And I think the same thing's happening with, say, unfounded allegations of sexual assault, a la the Me Too movement. I've noticed that they're still coming out. There are still allegations being made. But now a denial on social media is just enough to get people to ignore it. Because the power and the weight of it has been completely wasted because it's obviously being used as a weapon. If it wasn't so obvious that people were... I mean... Anyone who takes to Twitter to make a sexual assault allegation is, in my opinion, lying.
Okay, well, you didn't take to Twitter, but you said it on live television to a woman who asked you directly, and then later on, when you were at one of your little meetups, you were talking to somebody who was bitching at you for making rape jokes, and you said, my wife was sexually assaulted. So where's your proof, Carl? By your own fucking logic, we should not believe you. We should think you're lying until you provide proof. So make with the evidence, Carl, or jump out this Me Too shit. We see right through you, Carl. You're trying to play the victim here, right? And, like, I'm not saying Carl wasn't sexually assaulted. Maybe he was. Like, it's possible. But it's also possible he's just lying about this in order to make himself look better for telling rape jokes. That's also possible. And so without evidence, that's where I'm leaning.
You make an allegation like that to the police. That's what they're for. If you want to be taken seriously, you go to the authorities. Even if you don't have evidence, you say, look, it happened 5 years ago. I can't prove it, but I want it on record. You don't go to Twitter.
Okay, Carl. Well, you claim that you've been sexually assaulted and your wife. Have either one of you made police reports? Show us the police reports, Carl. This is what you said has to happen before anybody believes you. And this is what you say, hey, this is the moral thing to do, because if you don't go make a police report, then the person's just going to victimize somebody else, right? So by making the police report, you take them off the streets. That is your moral fucking, I don't say moral authority. That is your moral, that is the morally right thing to do, right, Carl? Have you done that? Do you have evidence that you've done that? Time to show, Carl. Put up or shut up.
Because that's a character attack. That's an attempt to smear someone's reputation, and that's the only way I would take them seriously.
Could I ask you a really personal question?
Sure.
Have you been raped?
I've been sexually assaulted.
Is that the first time you've...
Do you usually ask people if they've been raped? Do you find that an appropriate question?
If you're going around making rape jokes, yeah. I would ask you if you're like, hey, I think rape jokes are hilarious. And I would say, have you ever been raped? Because you might not think it was that funny if you've been raped. Yeah, that seems like a legit question, right? Quit being fucking snowflakey, Carl. You know, butch up, dude.
I appreciate it's a sensitive question and
But
a really
this is the thing, you assumed that I
question.
hadn't. You assumed that I had no understanding
I
of
had
this issue.
no idea.
Let's hope nobody you love ever raped, because it's shocking. Shocking. Well then, why are you joking about rape?
Okay, well, if that's true, then where's the evidence? According to you, Carl, we should not believe you. You're jumping on the Me Too movement in order to get attention and play the victim. Prove us wrong, Carl. Prove us wrong. But of course, as always, they're just hypocritical about every fucking thing. It's always do as I say, not as I do. It's just always the fucking same with these people. It's so hard to believe how popular they are, but that just shows you that right-wing people don't really give a fuck. It's all very tribalistic, and they just want to fucking root for whoever's on their side, regardless of who on their side has done. So that was another example of Carl saying the same shit. So I guess I just skip past that and see what Mr. Ant Bully, who I'm not a huge fan of, but it's funny, has a huge following for some reason. He's all in that internet blood sports, which I'm not really all that big of a fan of, but whatever. Apparently Carl had some kind of I guess it was supposed to be a bunch of politicians together at this meetup or whatever. Nobody showed up because nobody wanted to be on the fucking same panel as Carl. So I almost feel bad for him at this point, but not really because he's such a piece of shit. Let's watch anyway.
University, other speakers slowly started to pull out.
All right, let's listen to his excuse. Play, motherfucker.
Today we were meant to have a fantastic panel of high-profile speakers from all parties that are standing in the seat. However, due to certain events, we have had certain candidates try and boycott the event, and then after the initial event was cancelled at our university, other speakers slowly started to pull out, leaving just one candidate who decided to continue on with the event, and that is the candidate for the UK Independence Party, second on their list, Carl Benjamin.
So lonely Carl. He's like the Highlander. There can be only one left. Last man standing, Carl Benjamin. Jeez, Carl. You think maybe people don't like you a little bit? You think they don't want to have anything to do with you? You ever wonder why that is? But it's because of the media. It's because everybody's lying about me. Everybody's against me. No, Carl. It's because you're a horrible human being who's... Your only contribution to society is trying to upset people. It's literally the only thing you have to contribute. You do no social good whatsoever. You're just a rot on society, and that's why people don't like you. A true story. And of course, Paul's ego, you guys know who that is. That's TJ, the Amazing Atheist sidekick. Guy who, in my opinion, has never done anything on his own except for ride TJ's coattails. Well, he was Johnny on the spot to get out there and fucking back Carl Benjamin up and tell us all how we shouldn't be laughing about Carl Benjamin getting fucking milkshakes poured on him. And he's like, I fully agree. Anything can be joked about. I just don't think you'd find it funny. If the Proud Boys were dumping milkshakes on Natalie Wynn whenever she spoke publicly, you'd be here tweeting a different tune. That's hypocrisy writ large. No, it's not, Paul. You're a fucking moron. Seriously, if Natalie Wynn lied about a female politician in order to justify making rape jokes about her, and then when criticized, claimed it was just jokes and no joke is off limits, then yes, I would make jokes about her if she got milkshaked. The irony would be too delicious not to, and I absolutely would. But if she did that, I wouldn't be a fan of hers. None of us would be fans of hers. So yes, if she acted like Carl, we would still make jokes about her, but we wouldn't be fans to begin with. This is not an apples-to-apples comparison you're doing here. You see the problem, right? You're doing a false equivalence. If she behaved like Carl does, yes, we would mock the fuck out of her, and we would use this as a teachable moment to show all the bullshit that she says is bullshit. But she doesn't behave that way, right? She doesn't behave like Carl, so we don't treat her like Carl. It's different. But way to jump to his fucking defense there, old salty bones. Like, seriously, when he was making rape jokes, I don't remember, maybe you did, but I don't remember seeing you tweeting about his rape jokes. So why you got a problem with milkshake jokes all of a sudden? Like when he was laughing about Heather Heyer, who got murdered by white supremacists at the Charlottesville rally by running over by a car, when he was laughing at her and making fun of her for blaming her for her own death, I don't remember you tweeting and saying, "Oh no, what an asshole for doing this." I don't remember any of that. But when somebody makes a milkshake joke, suddenly it's, "I'm clutching my pearls. You guys are hypocrites." No, we're not the hypocrites, dude. You're the hypocrite. So I don't know. Keep sucking TJ's dick and riding his coattails, dude. It seems to be working out for you pretty good thus far. And the Onion's got a pretty good take on this. Even the Onion is dunking on these motherfuckers. Nigel Farage dies of milkshake wounds. If only. Not really. Obviously, I don't want this dude to die or anything, but that's how they're acting. I was murdered. No, you were just slightly inconvenienced for a moment. It's annoying, but not really that big of a deal. And of course, Tim Tool is all aflutter about people making milkshake jokes. It's just not appropriate. It is not appropriate to make milkshake jokes. Oh my God. How can you guys make these milkshake jokes? Dude never said nothing about the fucking rape jokes. Never said nothing about no rape jokes, but now milkshake jokes is off limits. And he's like, when major brands start cheering on violence, albeit pretty low-level milkshake stuff, escalation seems pretty much guaranteed. You think these people will respond by laughing at a milkshake to the face? We've already seen some fights break out. God, anything he can do to fucking support right-wingers and shit on the left. And but I thought all jokes were acceptable. And it's the left that is killing comedy by being overly offended at jokes, right? Isn't that what they're saying? So let me get this straight. Rape jokes are cool. Milkshake jokes are outrage. Is that where we're at, Tim? It seems like it is, dude. Seems like you guys are a little bit hypocritical, to be honest with you. But, this is left-winger Tim Pool. What a big old left-winger he is. Just like all the other left-wingers out there supporting the right wing and shitting on the left. That's what they always do, right? Isn't that what the left-wingers do? I don't think so. And this is the Rational Eye. And he's just backing me up when I said, calm down, conservatives. I'm not a milkshaker. I'm just pretending. This is exactly what they said. Bro, it's all just memes. Don't be so trigger, snowflake. And then when memes start getting used against them, they change their tune real quick. We must make all milkshakes illegal and arrest anyone who makes milkshake jokes for hate speech against conservatives. And of course, that is kind of a straw man. They don't really say that, but that is kind of their attitude they have. They don't really realize what a double standard that they're playing at here. And it's fun to point it out to them, right? And, so, I guess Rationality Rules, who I've been talking about, and I wanted to give the guy a fair shake. He put out yet another fucking video where he's apologizing for this transphobic video he put out. But he still hasn't put out the video explaining what he did that was wrong. It's just another video that says, yes, I was wrong, but 0% explaining why he was wrong in the first place, which is weird. I know he needs time, where he's like, give him time, but this shit, like, it doesn't take that long, really, to be honest with you. And the video he put out, like, I don't want to shit him too much, because, like, I preach redemption. I always preach redemption, and all you have to do is, like, admit that you're wrong, admit what your fuck-ups were, and then use those fuck-ups as a teachable moment for everybody. And, you know, when you do public wrong, you make public amends. And it seems like he's trying to do that. So I don't want to shit on him for doing that. I want to applaud him for doing that. I really do. But at the same time, the way he's doing it, it's just, like, the video he put out was basically him saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm not transphobic. I just made mistakes. I'm going to put out another video explaining why I was wrong later, but I just want to put this video right now that said I'm sorry. Okay, well, he's already said that. There was nothing new in that video. But then he spends, the video was only 5 minutes, and he spends like most of the time playing this clip from this transgender, I guess, YouTuber, who basically is saying that he is not transphobic, explaining that, yes, he might have put out this video that was ignorant and not very well thought out, but that doesn't mean he's transphobic at all. And so basically, the whole defense was just, the whole video was just defending himself against the accusations of the fact that he's transphobic, which is fine, but the fact is, he needs to own it. What you did is transphobic. Sorry, you may not be net transphobic. In your mind, you may think to yourself, hey, I'm the biggest fucking advocate for trans people there possibly could be. I'm a trans ally to the fucking core. Anything for, that may be what you think. It may be. That doesn't change the fact that you put out a transphobic video. It is. Fear that trans people will destroy women's sports is transphobic because it is based on unwarranted fears not backed up by the evidence. Spreading this fear is spreading transphobia, regardless of your claim, beliefs, or intentions, and it's okay to call people out for it. It absolutely is. If you go make a video and you say, trans people are going to destroy all of women's sports, and here's why, that is an unwarranted fear. That is transphobia. Regardless of what you feel about yourself and how much of an ally you are to the fucking trans community, you are still putting out a transphobic video that is going to be used by people to back up their wrong preconceived notions about trans people and used to spread fear and hatred towards trans people. That is what's happening. You can read the fucking comments on your own video and see that's what's happening. So you have to own up to that. You have to quit saying that what you did was not transphobic. It was. Now, why did you do it? You can say, I'm the biggest trans ally there is, but the way you framed that video was dishonest to begin with. You did not do it in a charitable way towards trans people. You did everything in the most uncharitable way towards trans people. So it's hard to believe that you're this giant ally that you claim you are when you make a video that's so uncharitable on purpose and misrepresents things so vastly, which seemed like, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but I don't know how it could have been if you'd done even the most minor amount of research, or you would have at least shared the science, which would have come up in your first Google search. And the fact that you didn't do any of that, you just took the most uncharitable view towards trans people you possibly can, and then you built a whole narrative of why they're going to destroy women's sports. Yes, that's transphobia. I just don't understand why you keep putting these people out there saying you weren't being transphobic when you were. Just own that shit. Okay? Explain what was going through your fucking head when you decided to make this one-sided narrative against trans people. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn. At least he's apologizing. At least he's trying to make an effort. So I don't want to shoot him too bad. But at the same time, I'm underwhelmed by it all. And Tommy Robinson is one of those guys who's been getting milkshaked recently. And just to show you what a fucking piece of shit this guy is, here's him when he doesn't think anybody's listening. He's promoting violence. So let's listen. I can get this motherfucking thing to play. Come on, you can do it, Dusty. You can do it. It's so easy. It's so easy. Just click it.
And it's going to be huge.
We're not fascists. We're not violent.
There we go. Now listen.
We're not trying to... Yeah. We don't go into meetings and shut people down like they try and do. That's not how freedom of speech really works or democracy should work, really, is it? So,
a protester has come in to observe the launch.
I'm a member of the public. I'd like to see what's going on. Is that okay? No, because it's a private meeting now. Fuck off. Excuse me? Yeah? Don't get aggressive with me. I'm not getting aggressive with you. I'm just telling you how it is. You're not welcome. Sit down and shut up then. Don't speak to me like that. I'll speak to you how I want. Okay. If you don't like it, stop me. Mug.
Ian. I know they're going to pick up on that.
You go down camera.
Oh, God, I know.
Stay calm all the time. If the camera's not there, fucking punch geezers right in the head.
Yeah, if the camera's not there, punch him right in the fucking head. That's what they do. He's one of the guys that got the milkshake dumped on, and that's why people dump a milkshake on him. It's the same guy that said that Muslims should be banned from the entire country. And, like, when they're out in public, they commit violence amongst people. They commit violence amongst lefties. And then when the lefties fight back, they say, we were just defending ourselves. But you see, that's what they do. When the camera's not on, punch that old geezer in his head. So all you calling milkshaking violent, but not calling this guy out for spreading violence, like, you're hypocrites. You're absolute hypocrites. This is real fucking violence. When the camera's off, punch the old geezer in his head. Isn't that way worse than a fucking milkshake? So where's the outrage? Where's the fucking outrage, Tim Pool? Where's the fucking outrage, Donkula? Where's the fucking outrage, Sargon? Where's the fucking outrage, dudes? No, you'll all go hang out with this guy and pretend like he never said this shit because you don't really give a fuck. That's the truth. He's on your side, so you don't really give a fuck about violence. It's just a tool you use to paint yourself as a victims and try to make yourself look like you're these just free speech warriors, but you're fucking not, dude. None of us that knows what the fuck is going on believe you. None of us are buying it. And we're up at the Stefan Mule Nuts. If you had Stefan Mule Nuts on your bingo card, when we're going to shit on Stefan Mule Nuts, here we go. We're going to shit on Stefan Mule Nuts tonight. And Stefan says, Christians are more honest and intellectually curious than atheists. Citation needed. What you say? Not so sure about that one, Stefan. If an atheist says to a Christian, God does not exist, he can have a good debate. Once again, like, I've been debating Christians for like 10 years about this. They get pretty mad when you say that. Not really a good debate subject, in my opinion. They pretty much just tell you you're going to hell and that you're only an atheist because something bad happened to you. You must have been molested in the booty hole or something. So, yeah, I don't know if you've ever, tried to debate Christians as an atheist there, Stefan. And anyway, then he says, when I say to an atheist, the state does not exist, he just gets angry and hostile. I'm not angry and hostile. That just makes me think you're an idiot. The state clearly exists, right? The state is the government, for those who don't know. The government definitely exists, right? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It's just he got 2.2K likes for this. How? Who is this guy's fan base who thinks these are good points he's making? And Henry says, what the hell do you mean the state doesn't exist? You're standing in it, motherfucker. Both Christians and atheists know the state exists. Only childish anarchists would say something that dumb, and it's, really fucking dumb. But that's Stefan Mulenuts for you. Always saying some stupid shit. All right, let's stop and check the super chats. Super chats, lifeblood of the show. Please support the show with super chats. I'm e-begging the shit out of you guys. I'm going to be fucking homeless if you guys don't help me, and all the dogs and cats are going to be out on the street. Don't let that happen. Lane Magny says, for the kitties and puppies, how many cats and dogs do you have? Currently, we have 7 dogs and 10 cats. I believe that was the last count. And we have a full house right now. We have, like I told people before, we bought this old 100-year-old house, and it was sectioned off into 4 different apartment complexes. And so we live in one of the apartment complexes, and one of them's for the dogs, and 2 of them are for the cats. So they have it fucking made, spoiled bitches. And HS Ross could be $10 for 10 Canadian dollars, which is even better. And he says, are the optics of the left throwing shakes on opponents good? I don't think it's as bad as you might think it is. I think the optics from Charlottesville and Jews will not replace us and Tiki Torches is really bad. But throwing shakes is kind of funny. And I think this is a movement that is actually going to embarrass a lot of conservatives and stuff. And I don't think the optics are going to be that bad, to be honest with you. But I'm not going to go out and throw no milkshake on nobody, but I'll make jokes about it. Doesn't it make us look bad? Isn't it legally assault? Yeah, I would say that it's probably assault. I don't know if it's violent assault, but I would definitely say it's assault. If you milkshake somebody, you should expect to be arrested and at least be fined. Maybe no jail time, maybe community service or something, but yeah. But if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to take the penalty for doing it, then go for it. But yeah, I think it. I don't know if it makes us look bad or not. I think it's not really sure about that, but not really something that I would say people should go out and do, but it's not something I'm going to lose too much sleep over, and it is something I'll definitely make fun of you over. But did it make those throwing food at protesters at lunch counters look bad? Yeah, but that's not really the same thing. People are throwing milkshakes on Carl because he's making rape jokes and laughing at murder victims and supporting Trump when he has universal health care over in his country, but it's being taken away from us in our country. He knows his family will be fine. His family will be taken care of, but my family will go bankrupt. He doesn't give a shit about that. So they're doing it because he's a shitty person, not because he's black. So the reason they're doing it is totally different. So yeah, I know what you're saying. I kind of agree to a degree, but disagree to another degree. Morgan Raiha Studios, $5. What are your thoughts on prevailing Dems talking point that we need unity? I mean, the right doesn't want unity. So how can you have unity with a side that doesn't want it and who's done nothing but be rude and try to upset people? Their entire platform is, are you upset? We upset you didn't. They have no fucking positions that the public likes. I mean, on every fucking policy issue, the right gets murdered. There's nothing the public agrees with them on. So, I don't know how you unify with those people. I'm not really into that, to be honest with you. I'm not friends with shitheads, and I don't support shitheads, and I'm not going to be friendly with them just for any sense of unity. I'm just going to be honest about how I feel about them, and they can deal with it. We need people to pay social penalties for the shit they do. I think that's more important. Victoria Cunningham, $5. Thank you, Victoria. HS Ross, $5 Canadians. To boost this from the chat, if shakes must be thrown, use soy milk shakes. Better for animals and the environment, and it will piss them off more. Yeah, but they won't even know it's... you would have to write soy on the shake. This one's starting to fucking loosen up. It's delicious. Definitely not soy. That's why I'm not pouring it all over myself. $2 on pizza pasta cat. Keep being awesome, Dusty. Hey, I don't know any other way. If I did, I would do it. Appreciate that. Tina Bush, $1. Thank you, Tina. Bar Ripper, $2 New Zealand. Tommy Robinson is a Zionist shill. Yeah, no shit. Fucking guy's a dick, a violent fucking dick. But, that's right-wing chuds for you. Tina Bush, give me $1. Thank you, Tina. Radelta, $2. Hey, Dusty, do you have a Streamlabs link to donate? Yes, streamlabs.com /Dusty Smith. Streamlabs.com Dusty Smith. I usually have a link in the description of my video. It's in the description of all my other podcasts. I haven't put it in this podcast yet, but it's in all the other ones, and it'll be in this video eventually. So thank you for that. For those of you want to do Streamlabs instead, Streamlabs doesn't take as much money as YouTube. I get all the money from Streamlabs, so that's a good way to donate if you want to. Appreciate that. Tyson Mineham, $2. Thoughts on all this potential Iran war talk? Depressing. Obviously, they're just doing it because Trump wants to get elected again, and he knows during wartime presidents are usually more electable and likable by the public for whatever reason, because America's goddamn violent and ignorant. So he's just pounding the war drums in order to up his likability rating and try to get elected again. We see right through it, but he'll probably get away with it because that's what they always do. There's always plenty of money. There's always trillions and trillions of dollars to kill brown people. But when it actually comes to healthcare and shit that's going to help Americans, suddenly there's no money for that. They're always, how are we going to pay for? How do we pay for the wars? That's Republicans for you, though. Murder everybody, save nobody. And Morgan Ray High Studios. Screw optics, do what's right, however unpopular it might be. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Optics are important, though, because we want to make social change. We want to evolve our society to the next level as quickly as possible. And so optics are important in that and getting people on our side and, getting our message to spread in the most efficient way possible. So we can't just screw optics. Yeah, you want to do the right thing, but optics are a lot of times part of doing the right thing because they make, social change easier. So you have to think about all that, too. But thank you for that. Appreciate that. More super chats, please. Would really appreciate the super chats. Let's see. We're 55 minutes into the show. Time for the video segment. Video segment. And this week we have less black people doing things that make black people look bad and more whiteys doing things that make white people look bad. So yay, fuck whitey. That's all I'm saying. Hate white people. Why don't they die? And first off, we're going to start with this video of the most talked about stories of 2018. I'm going to run through these right quick. I'm not really going to play the video, but I'm just going to show you. First of all, this woman who testified against this dude who was her boyfriend. And, I'm just saying, I don't want to, judge people based off their looks, but it looks like a bad choice to begin with to me. I don't know. When you got a guy with neck tattoos, you might want to rethink. I don't know. I'm sure there are a lot of neck tattooed dudes out there that are perfectly good boyfriends. I don't mean to stereotype. But anyway, this dude poured gasoline all over and set her on fire. So not the best boyfriend in the world. Anyway, before she died, she testified that he did it, and then she died. And so I think she's the only person to ever testify against her killer. They put him on trial for murder after she died. And this is her testifying, saying exactly what he did to her. So you go, girl, but she dead now. So that's sad. But at least he got his. And then here's another story. Kind of interesting. So, this dude, who's like a model in Turkey or something, supposedly messaged this woman, right? And they set up like a little friendship on Facebook or whatever. They started flirting and whatnot. Well, it turns out it was a catfish. It wasn't really this dude. He was catfishing her the whole fucking time. And then she's like, well, God damn it. And I guess she watched the show Catfish. And she's like, I can just reverse look up this motherfucker's pictures. So she reverse looked up his pictures. And she found, hey, that's not really you. That's this other guy, this Turkey guy. And so she messaged this guy. And she's like, did you know that somebody is fucking using your shit and they catfishing me? And then he's like, you're cute. Let's hook up. So then anyway, she hooked up with this Turkey guy. And I can only assume, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I'm kind of thinking this guy needed a green card or something, or she's rich or something. That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, they're living together, I'm assuming off her dime in another country right now. So good for her. She got to hook up with the guy who she was being catfished by, the pictures anyway. So anyway, interesting story. Let's see. Yeah, that was the guy that was catfishing her. Some guy in his 50s. Don't catfish people. Just fucking be yourself. I mean, what is the end game, really? I actually had somebody catfish a girl one time using my pictures, and she messaged me, and she was like, did you know that somebody's using your pictures to catfish? They catfish the shit out of me. And I was like, well, one thing I will say about you, lady, is you obviously have incredible taste. Yeah, because she was all over it. Ha ha! But anyway, sorry that happened to you. And this story is about a doctor who put a morning after pill in his girlfriend's drink to make her have a miscarriage, and she did. He threw his entire fucking career away, did 5 years in jail because he didn't want to have a kid. What a fucking moron. How do you go to medical school, spend all that time and money and effort, and just throw all that shit away just because you don't want to have a kid, dude? So stupid. But you deserve it. You deserve to lose everything because you're a fucking moron. And next up is this chick. It was on Facebook, and she went on the, I guess the police were looking for her, and so the police like posted her picture, and they're like, have you seen this girl? And she went on there, and she was like, you ain't got me, I'm free, motherfuckers. And she's like mocking them on their Facebook account. So they basically said, okay, we're gonna get you. And so they redoubled their efforts, and they got her. They didn't say how they got her. Apparently they tricked her somehow using social media. I'm guessing they posed as a hot dude, and they were trying to tell her that they want to hook up and like do some booty stuff or something. That's my guess. And she was like, hells yeah, I love booty stuff. And so she showed up ready to do booty stuff, and they're like, haha, you're under arrest, bitch. You shouldn't have taunted us. So let that be a lesson to you. If you're being called out on a police website, don't go there and fucking taunt them. That's just asking for fucking trouble. So stupid. And we're going to finish it up with this one. I'll see if you guys can see this. So this girl's at a nightclub, and she thinks that this bouncer slaps her on the ass. And so she goes up and she starts choking him out, and she chokes him until he falls out and passes out. And it turns out it was actually her friend that slapped her on the ass. It wasn't him at all. And he basically just stands there and lets her choke him because he thinks it's one of his friends walking up behind him and fucking with him. And so he doesn't even try to get away. Let's take a look. Here he is. She walks up behind him, puts him in a chokehold. Choking. He doesn't even try. Then finally, I guess he passes out and fall. They both fall down on the ground. So here she is. And here her friend is. Her friend smacks her in the butt, see? And she turns around and thinks the bouncer did it. So she walks up, immediately starts choking this poor guy. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on because her friend slapped on the ass. Bitch, you better fucking know what you're doing before you walk up and just accuse somebody of assaulting you and assault them in back. Seriously. Shameful. Women think they can do this a lot, though. Women think that they can just assault men and get away with it because they're women. And that's part of, in my opinion, toxic femininity. Something that absolutely should be called out. It's not as bad as toxic masculinity because men run the world still, and women don't kind of have that power yet. But still, it's good to call it out. So here's a video. What happens when you bring Black Lives Matter on stage and let them talk during a Trump rally? Well, I actually thought it was kind of cool of these guys, the Trump rally, to bring these Black Lives Matter guys up there. You know, at least they were willing to hear the other side out. And it's kind of interesting to hear what the crowd had to say. So let's have a look real quick.
So you ask why there's a Black Lives Matter? Because you can watch a black man die and be choked to death on television and nothing happened. We need to address that.
That was a criminal. He deserved to die. He was literally selling cigarettes. That's all he was fucking doing. He really deserved to die and be choked to death because he was selling cigarettes. That's really what you think? Well, that's why people think you're racist. That's why people think that you MAGA chuds are fucking pieces of shit. You have no empathy for people. I mean, it's gross.
To fix it. We are not anti-cop.
Yes, you are. We know better than you. Let me just shout at you. Yes, you are. We don't believe you.
We are anti-bad cop. We say if a cop is bad, he needs to get fired like a bad plumber, like a bad lawyer, like a bad fucking politician. We don't want handouts. We don't want anything that shows. We want our God-given right to freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I want to leave you with this.
All lives matter. Look, the fucking Black Lives Matter movement is not saying that all lives don't matter, okay? It's saying that in this country, black lives are not treated as equally as other lives, and so they're saying Black Lives Matter too. That's what it means. Not only Black Lives Matter, not other races don't matter as well. It's that Black Lives Matter too. Just like white lives matter, just like all the other lives matter, you're treated with respect by cops, and we're not. We're treated like our lives don't matter, and they do. So this whole all lives matter is totally missing the fucking point of everything, as usual.
And I'm gone. You're right, my brother. You're right. You are so right. All lives matter, right? But when a black life is lost, we get no justice. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. That's why we say Black Lives Matter.
What about black on black crime? That is addressed constantly. The Stop the Hate fucking rallies happen continuously. There's all kinds of rallies all over the fucking country all the time about black on black crime. But Black Lives Matter is not about black on black crime. You're asking them, why don't you call out things that have nothing to do with what your organization is about? Black Lives Matter is an organization that points out police brutality. That's its focus. That's its mission. It's not about black on black crime. There are other organizations for that. So when you're saying, why don't you do this? You know, it's like asking Starbucks, you know, why don't you sell hamburgers at Starbucks? They don't sell hamburgers at Starbucks. That's not what they do, you know. Why don't you sell tacos? Because it's Starbucks. They sell coffee there, right? It's not the goal of the organization. So, dumb.
You don't care, man! If we really want to make America great, we do it together. All right.
Anyway, pretty cool. He won them over some, but they still scream stupid shit at him. So, nice to see them at least standing up and saying shit, though. And you guys might have seen my video about magic versus real life. Bushido, that's what they call it. So here's more Bushido. It's always fun to watch these con men and their students who always join into their cons and try to make them feel like they have magic. Hilarious. Yeah, that's nothing. Look, this guy, get it, boy. Terrifying. He can whoop everybody's ass. And this guy, what are you doing? And totally scary. That guy's definitely gonna whoop your ass, isn't he? And then no, that's not how you do that. And I don't. What is happening? I don't know. And look at this guy. What? No, you get back. No, you get back. No, you. I'll kick you. I'll kick you. And then this one. Oh, right in the face. Yeah, that's not how you do that. And this guy. What is this guy doing? Are you frisking him? I don't know what is happening here. What kind of martial art is this? It's grab your junk martial art? Yeah, the guy just stands there. Obviously, anything will work. And then I don't know what this guy's doing, and I can already tell this is going to go bad. Yeah, that's your face. That's your face. And then, what are you going to do? Oh, yeah, slam. Now what? God, so stupid. Why are they always fat? I mean, I don't like to make fun of people because of their, weight problem. But why are these martial arts masters always incredibly over the fucking weight? Now, you would think that if they were that skilled and that, stealthy, that they would have a little bit more muscle to fat ratio on them. Look at me, I just moved out of the way. Haha. Yeah, if you just stand there, I can grab you and do shit. You just stand there and don't fucking move. And look at this bullshit. So stupid. Dude. Hilarious. Like, oh, this works. Oh, wow, magic. Nope. That didn't work. Try it again. Nope, still didn't work. And I still love this guy. Yeah, you get it, boy. Yeah, ooh, kicked the shit out of that, didn't you? And there's that toss her that I showed before. All fake. Anyway, enough Bushido for now. I love that shit. It's so stupid. And I had to ask myself if I wanted to show this video or not. But I decided to anyway, because why not? And basically, it's this cop asking this guy if he wants to take a field sobriety test because he's believed he's been drinking, and he's like, no, I'm not taking a field sobriety test. And he's like, okay, well, you're in arrest. And he's like, do I have to take a field sobriety test? Like, no, but you're in arrest if you don't. And so this is what's going on.
Okay. I'm not doing it.
Huh?
Because I don't need to.
You don't need to?
I don't need to.
You're leaning on your truck. What do you mean you don't need to?
I mean, you're leaning.
You're absolutely. You don't need to. You're absolutely right. You do not.
You're leaning on.
You do not need to.
Okay.
So turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Okay. Ken.
So this guy, oh my God, this guy is running over to the bushes here where he has hidden a gun. Yes, I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. Let's see what happens. Now you're dead. Now he's dead. So you just watched a murder. Sorry, that's traumatizing. I know. That's why I didn't want to know if I wanted to put that or not. But yep, he got killed. So that's why you don't hide guns in bushes and then point them near cops. Some lessons it doesn't seem like you would have to know, but that was just a weird escalation. The guy's like, nope, I'm not doing the field sobriety test. I'm just going to commit suicide by cop all of a sudden. It's like, what were you thinking? Well, I guess he was thinking he wanted to die. Oh, that's a bad. And yeah, this is why you never try to act cool. Elevator edition. I don't know why, or escalator edition. Why do people do this? Like, this never goes well. No one ever looks cool. You just get hurt. Escalators are not things to play on. It's just going to go bad. Except for this one time. This actually does kind of look cool. And seemed to work out fine. But besides that, and this person, boop! Yeah, that looks painful. what was your end game there, player? And then no, look how high you are up, dude. You're gonna kill yourself. Like, why? Why do that? You didn't look cool, and no, dude. No, you're too old to do that. No. Okay, now you've broken it. Great. You fucking idiot. Yeah. No, that's why you don't do that. And this dude, no, there's humps there, dude. There's humps there. Don't. Oh, see, yeah. Didn't you see the humps? That's why you don't do that, dude. All right, so and this one. Jumps over Paul's face. All right, that's all I'm gonna show that one. That's why I never try to look cool, because it only goes bad. You only end up making a fool of yourself. So don't worry about being cool. Just be yourself. Being yourself is the new cool, isn't it? I don't know. And this is shit. Yeah, this is some shit right here. This is not scary. Just leave the house, man. You never fucking know. You could just die any fucking second from things just falling on you out of nowhere that you never saw coming. Look at this dude just running down the street and all of a sudden, boom! Yeah, what the fuck is that? This guy just riding along in. What the fuck? Oh shit! Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that? Nothing. Get hit by it. Just riding down the road all of a sudden, and then whip. Yep. That ain't what you want. And then just here's me riding down the road, and oh, well, what the fuck is that? Just out of nowhere. And then oh, there's a tire, and yep, that's smashing your car, doesn't it? That's not amazing. And then this guy just running down the road, and then all of a sudden, fucking wrench! Could have been right through your head. Where the fuck did a wrench come from? That's some crazy ass shit. And then off the top of that truck, and then boom, like a heat-seeking missile right to your fucking car. And like, this is me. Like, this literally happened to me when I was a baby. I shit you not. This true story. Back in the day, this is like back in the 70s or early 80s or something. I guess I was probably 5 or 6 years old. It's probably back in the early 80s. Back in the day, there was no fucking safety rules whatsoever. None of this fucking child seat bullshit. They didn't really have any real type of seat belts or anything. It was just like a one strap around your midsection where if you're in a wreck, it would actually just rip your spine out and you would die or be paralyzed. So anyway, I was just playing around in the back of this van all by myself, just no child seat or nothing. And I guess I fucked with the back handle on the back door and it popped open. And my ass fell out in the middle of the goddamn street when we were driving down the road. And my first instinct was to get up and run out to the car and cry because I thought they were going to leave me. So I got up and was like, I guess I run out the car. I'm back here. And they turned around and looked and they saw I was on the street and they were like, what in the fuck? And they eventually stopped. It took them a little while to stop though. It took them like a couple hundred feet before they realized my ass was out of the car. But I wasn't hurt or anything. I was just more scared they were going to leave me and shit. But that's dangerous. Make sure your kid is locked up in the back of your car because we're assholes. We'll get out. This kid did the same thing. Got up and just started running to the car. And, yeah, that's bad, isn't it? And, oh, shit. Somebody's fucking trailer. That'll ruin your day. Oh. See, this is scary as fuck, man. When you least expect it. Could be out there and just dead from nothing. That's why I never leave the house. People are like, Dusty, what are you going to do if somebody milkshakes you? Well, first of all, I'm going to fucking lick it right off my dirty ass clothes right in front of you. I'm disgusting. Try me. But secondly, I dare you motherfuckers to milkshake me. In fact, I welcome it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a bounty out on myself right now. I will pay $100 to the first person to milkshake me in public. Guarantee you, I will pay your ass. Now, here's the rules. It's got to be a real milkshake, number one. Can't be can't be just milk or some shit. It got to be at a real ass milkshake. And number two, got to be done in public. Somewhere I'm out in fucking public. Can't be like when I'm sitting at home Thanksgiving. Can't be my sister coming and dump a milkshake on my head. Got to be out in fucking public. If you do those two things though, I guarantee you I will pay you $100. I think that shit is hilarious. So game on. I don't think I'll ever be fucking milkshake because like I don't go out anywhere that they really have milkshakes freely available. Like the only place in public I ever go is like Walmart because that's the only place to fucking shop around here. And they ain't got no fucking milkshakes at Walmart. So go ahead. Give me your best shot, folks. Milkshake the fuck out of me. I can take it. And if you do, I'll just laugh because it's a milkshake, right? Like who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about no milkshake. I'll come home, take a shower, change my clothes, wash them. Won't think a second thing about it. And who you guys think would win? A bat or a knife? Who you got in a fight with a bat versus a knife? Let's see here.
It's a knife and a bat fight.
No spoilers. Here we go. Who gonna win? Dude on the porch got a knife. Dude in the bat. Dude on the stairs got a bat. Dude with the knife's at the high ground though. Star Wars.
He gotta go up top with that
bitch,
bro.
Important.
You gotta go up top. You got the knife out of the top of your curl.
What you gonna do?
Bitch! Oh!
Yep. You heard that right. Clink. Yep. Let's hear that again. Back to the dome. Yep. Reach works every time. If you got a knife, you got to be more aggressive, dude. You got to actually go after it. Can't just stand back and get whacked in the head with a fucking bat, dude. That's rookie shit. So, if you had bat, you win. And I didn't even know this was a fucking thing. Like, I knew that they had hydraulics in cars to make you stand out. I know the Mexican folks, the Latinos, love this shit. But apparently, this is a new thing now. Truck bed hydraulics. Like, what the... Why? And also how? And, like, when and where? And all of the questions at the same time. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would do this. But, I guess for attention. I'm assuming they... like want women and they think women will be impressed by this. That's the only thing I can think of why they would do this. But anyway, I guess that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing, and now I do. And now you do too. And here's a funny video. Reminds me of when I was a kid. So these two little kids, 15-year-olds, are going home. They're walking home from school. And they see this person's shed in the back of the yard. And they're like, hey, why don't we go in that shed and fuck? And then she comes out with the camera and she's like, what are you kids doing in my shed? Are you fucking in my shed? And it turns out, yeah, they're fucking in your shed, dude. So let's have a listen.
Get out! You got about 5 seconds, little girl. You guys think you just go off in anybody's backyard and fuck in their tool shed? Look at me.
She let them have it.
Where do you live? What are you guys doing? You walking home from school and just go, oh look, a tool shed, I'm gonna fuck in there. How old are you? 15. Are you fucking serious?
She horny.
15 years old in someone's backyard with your goddamn pants down? You think that's real fun? That's the cool thing to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it funny?
Yeah, sort of.
Fuck no, it's not. You better hope that little boy ain't got herpes. You understand? You better fucking hope you don't get goddamn pregnant and ruin your fucking life like every other fucking low-life idiot out here. Get the fuck out of my yard, now.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry we fucked in your shed. I'm not gonna slut shame her, though. She just doing what she gotta do. She horny. Gotta get hers. Sometimes you gotta get it where you can get it. Sometimes you just gotta fuck in a random person's tool shed. You know? And, you might be thinking, hey, what would happen if I had a Hummer and then, like, somebody was trying to tow my Hummer and I didn't want to be towed, so I jumped into my Hummer and tried to drive it off their tow truck? Would that work? Let's find out, shall we? Yeah, no, it doesn't work. That's the answer to that question. It doesn't work at all.
Got it all on camera.
Maybe that's a Jeep, not a Hummer.
I got it all on camera.
Yep. Look at this
all
fucking
this
idiot.
Instead of just paying $63, right? All this instead of just paying $63, right?
You made a horrible decision. You ain't towing me. Fuck you. That's why I got this badass car to begin with. That's why I got a fucking Jeep Wrangler. It's a woman.
All of this instead of just paying $63.
Now she's like sad. I can't believe this. Turn the car off. What the fuck? Yeah, you're an idiot. That's not how you do that. I can't get out of here now. Yeah.
Can you turn the car off? Can you turn it off?
Yeah, turn the car off, dummy. Anyway, that's not how you do that. Just pay your fine, dudes. Just pay your fine. And this one was funny. Basically, this is a black dude. I guess the cop's race doesn't matter, but he's arresting this white lady, and he's got these other black people around him. And the black people are like, hey, don't treat her like she's white. Treat her just like you would a black person. We're filming you. Treat her just like you would anybody else. And then the cop proceeds to treat her just like he would treat a black person. And it's funny, so let's watch.
She crashed into a truck, and she just tried to flee the scene and crashed into my wife and kids. Don't treat her like don't treat her comfortably. Treat her like you do anybody now. Treat her like you do anybody now.
Yep. Treat her like you
treat her
us.
like you'll treat anybody. There we go. There we go. Just treat her like you'll treat anybody. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Calm down, babe. That's all I ask. I don't know what you under the influence of. No, don't hate. Yeah, wrestle. Hey, punch in that shit. Wrestle. You gonna wrestle some more? Wrestle some more.
Can I see your manager? Can I see the manager, please? I want to see the manager.
We need paramedics. My kids are hurt, sir. My little girl can't even feel her shoulder over here.
What are you doing?
I got 115.
Okay, I just want my bracelet.
Help me.
My bracelet's important. Help me.
That's the first thing he gonna do too.
But why he?
She hit the truck back here.
Where she was?
She hit.
That's funny. Treat her like you would anybody else now. Okay, he did. He was true to his fucking job, wasn't he? Go, dude. All right, let's read the super chats real quick. Super chats. That's the end of the video segment. I hope you guys enjoyed the video segment tonight. And super chats. I love seeing how far you've gone. Love you, Dusty. Well, I love you back. I do appreciate that, Jonesy Jones. And I'm trying. I'm a work in progress, like anybody else is. Ray, do another $5. The state does exist in one form or another. It's just that, do you want one you can hold accountable or one that you can't hold accountable? I vote for one you can hold accountable. You know, I think government is important. Government has always been important, but the government is supposed to be the people, right? It's supposed to be us. We're supposed to be the government. They're supposed to be representative of us, and as long as they are, there's no problem. You know, we should join all our resources together to make life better for all of us, and that's what the government is supposed to be, and as long as it is doing that, there's no problem whatsoever. But it's when it stops doing that, that's when it's an issue that we have to stand up and fight against. Musaka, $5, not mad, and it's a common mistake. Eric Garner was stopping a fight when he was choked out by the cop, not selling cigs. That was in the past. Okay, well, I thought that they were arresting him because he had a warrant for selling cigs or whatever. But, okay. Did not know that, but either way, he wasn't a criminal that deserved to be killed. That's also ridiculous. Andrew Bourne, what's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? $20. What's going on, Dusty? Not much, man. Just hanging out, enjoying my milkshake. It's delicious. Loving these live streams. Loving having you here. I'm actually really enjoying doing this show, having all kinds of fun. So thank you guys for supporting me. It really means a lot. I missed the last couple of them, but I wanted to ask you, have you seen all the crazy shit happening with Andy Warski? Oh, no, I haven't seen. Is there new shit with Andy Warski? We're going to talk about him a little bit later on. We talk about Ian Mouse Chong or whatever that dude's name is. So, but no, I haven't seen any of the new crazy shit with him. So maybe you guys can clue me in on what's going on, and I can cover the next show. More super chats, please. Super chats. Lifeblood of the show. No question dodged. Please, more super chats. Thank you, Andrew Bourne, for that. Very generous, and I appreciate it. On with the show. All right, next up, we're going to talk about something from Punished Carxus. What's he got to say? Oh, yeah, this is more Stefan Mulenuts. More genius from Stefan Mulenuts. Let's just read what Stefan Mulenuts has to say. Galaxy Brains, Stefan Mulenuts. Atheists are 700% more likely to favor big government, Democrat over small government, conservative. Okay. I mean, atheists are generally more liberal, yes, because the more you research stuff and the more education you have, the more likely you are to be liberal and atheist. So I guess I'm on board with them being Democrat. Now, as far as Democrats wanting big government more than conservatives, I don't think that there's any evidence of that. I mean, are we spending less money now that Trump is president than we did that Obama was president? No. We're spending more money now than we did when Obama was president. Is the government smaller now than it was when Obama was president? No. Trump has increased the military, which is part of the government. Trump has increased the government just like every other Republican president has done. So is our government smaller under Trump? No. None of this is true. What the fuck are you even talking about? Conservatives may say they like smaller government, but when it actually comes to it, they don't. They're actually, putting abortion bans and they're regulating our entire bodies now. How can you get more fucking big government than that? Than literally regulating what women do with their bodies. That's huge fucking government. Mulenuts has no problem with that. So your first premise is fucked from Jump Street, but let's continue. Government rushes in to fill the void left by God. Okay. Didn't rush in to fill the void left by God for me. That would be science and, my own moral compass. Had nothing to do with government whatsoever. But okay, keep going. Atheism is dangerous. Because Christianity is voluntary, but the government is not. Huh? Okay, none of that makes any sense. I mean, I guess the government's not voluntary, but we do vote for the government. And Christianity may be voluntary, but they do threaten you with eternal torture if you don't do it, which doesn't really seem that voluntary. It seems like terroristic threats. So I think Stefan Mjolnir is an atheist too. That's the crazy part. But he knows that his fan base is so heavily right-wing and white supremacist and mostly conservative that he'll do whatever he can to milk his fan base from every fucking dime he can possibly milk them from. So that's what he's doing. Grifter's got a grift, and he's one of the best. Keep it up, Stefan. And Punish Clark says, the Phil win, you're a white nationalist criticizing people for supporting big government. Yeah, like, how do you think that works? How do you think you can have a white nationalist country, a white ethno state without big government deciding who is allowed in and who is not allowed in? That's like as big as government could possibly be, deciding who is white enough to be in your ethno state and who is not. So, hypocrisy. Thou's name is Stefan Mjolnir. And next up, more shitting on Tim Pool, who is a Dave Rubin knockoff. He's a Sargon Dave Rubin wannabe. And oh, God, it's so stupid. All right, let's just read what he has to say. All right, let's just read what Dave Rubin knockoff. Hate speech isn't violence, you SJWs. Also, DR knockoff. Tweeting about selling milkshake is encouraging actual street violence. And it just shows his hypocrisy. They call non-white people supremacists. Who is they? I guess he means some cherry-picked left that he's picked out, but for the most part, unless you're a white supremacist, people on the left like me don't call you a white supremacist. This is just bullshit. So anyway, they claim speech is violence. I never claim speech is violence. I don't know what you're talking about, who this they is again. Silence is violence. Okay. Then encourage actual street violence. Yeah, like I said, throwing milkshakes on people is not street violence. And this is actually his response to some Sam Harris thing, which is so fucking stupid. God damn, Sam Harris. Like, Sam Harris making me lose respect from every day. He's trying to really, really, really play this into SJW. The left are the bad ones and the right. I'm a centrist. Both sides. And Sam Harris said, a paradox for our time. The far left is disproportionately white, wealthy, and well-educated. He just described the atheist community. You've just described your fan base. You've literally just fucking described your fan base. Do you know this? Do you realize this? That atheists are mostly on the left and white. Why is this a bad thing? Why are you calling this out? Why are you calling out what the demographics of your own fan base, Sam? Anyway, he goes on to say, so extreme wokeness is now one of the most glaring symptoms of white privilege. So is being an atheist one of the glaring symptoms of white privilege? Is being a Sam Harris fan one of the glaring symptoms of white privilege? He's saying glaring symptoms like wokeness is a disease. Like understanding that our society is not fair, has not been founded on fairness, and is still not fair. It has a long way to go before we have a fair system that treats everybody equally and wants to work towards that system. Is that really a bad thing? Is that really something that has glaring symptoms like it's a disease, Sam? It's just so stupid. Like, I know what you're saying, but it's dumb. It's like really, really fucking dumb. And when Tim Pool starts agreeing with you, you know you fucked up kind of Sam. But anyway, Sam is losing left-wing support left and right because left-wing people dared criticize him. And all these people, when you dare criticize him, it pushes them to the right. Because that's just what happens because their egos won't allow them to admit that they could possibly be wrong. And so all these leftists who are criticizing them, they must be the wrong ones because I can't possibly be wrong. I'm Sam Harris. My mama invented the fucking Golden Girls, okay? I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but no, I mean, sometimes you do, Sam, and sometimes you don't. You're a human being, just like all of us, right? You fuck up a lot, just like I do. I fuck up all the goddamn time. The difference between me and you is when I fuck up, I'm like, ha, I fucked up. I'm an idiot. And you're like, no, I didn't fuck up. I'm a genius. That's the difference, Sam. So a little humility would go a long way. And I just got through watching the Game of Thrones, and people are mad. Like, people all kinds of mad. I ain't gonna give away no spoilers, don't worry. At least I don't think any of this is gonna be a spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, don't worry about it. But man, that's my favorite show of all time. And I do not understand the fucking hate. I thought it was amazing. I don't get it. Like, they stayed true to the show's twist nature, which has always kind of been the way the show is. It does things that you don't expect sometimes. But at the same time, the ending left it really open. Like, it wasn't like you had closure through all the characters. It left the characters' lives completely open. It made it look like their adventures were just beginning. Like, yeah, it may not have ended exactly the way you wanted it to for each of them, but their adventures are just beginning, and they have all different kinds of things that are going to happen to them after the show ended that, you know, you may be excited to find out if they do, like, sequels and stuff in the future or spinoffs. So I thought they did a great job. Like, I understand the pacing of the show is way different, obviously, than it was in the first 5 seasons because they realized they had 2 seasons left to wrap it all up. They had all these plot holes and plot lines and threads they had to wrap up. And they had to do it in 2 seasons, a very limited number of episodes. So yes, it moved at a completely different pacing than the first 5 seasons. And people didn't like that, but it's understandable. And they kept it surprising, and they did a great job, in my opinion. I do not understand all the hate. I know I'm going to take a lot of shit from this. People thought it was boring, or people thought they didn't like the way it ended or whatnot. But I don't know. I thought they did a good job. I'm not hating on it. Still my favorite show of all times. And but people are like, you guys couldn't even get it right in any scene. Like this scene, you let the water bottle in. And they did. They let the water bottle in this scene. With the, what is that guy's name that killed the White Walker, the chubby one? Why don't you fucking scroll down, you goddamn son of a bitch? I will goddamn go back in time and kill your fucking... Come on. This is so frustrating. Why is it not doing it? Anyway, you get the fucking picture. For some reason, GIFs don't want to load on this goddamn thing. But there's a water bottle in one of the scenes. And it's not worth me sitting here trying to click on it all day long. So fuck you, Game of Thrones, and your goddamn water bottle. Hope you burn in hell for eternity. And this is more Dim Tool. He's always good for a laugh and shitting on. And he's like, shit posters were born of George Carlin, Matt and Trey, and Seth MacFarlane. No. Shit posters are people who derail the conversation by posting things that had nothing to do with the conversation. They're just trying to troll you and make sure that whatever you're talking about doesn't have a serious conclusion. Like if, say, you're talking about global warming, they want to jump in and they want to say fake shit or derail the subject on something else that's completely unimportant to make sure that you don't have a good resolution to the conversation. That's what shitposting is. It's just losers trying to make sure that nothing good comes out of conversations. That's not what George Carlin did. That's not what Matt and Trey did. That's not what Seth MacFarlane did. They had substance behind what they did, especially George Carlin. There was incredible substance behind his words, and that's the difference between them and shitposters. He goes on to say, why are South Park and Family Guys okay, but edgy YouTube content isn't? Because there was substance behind Seth MacFarlane and George Carlin. They weren't just edgy just to be edgy, and that's what these YouTubers are doing. There's no substance. They're just, look how edgy I am. Look how edgy. I said the N-word repeatedly. I'm so edgy. Oh, Muslims, they're all just fucking dirt worshippers. I'm so edgy. It's just edginess for edginess sake. There's no substance whatsoever. That's the difference, okay? That's why it's so fucking cringe, right? That's why Donkula is not the same as fucking George Carlin. Donkula is not funny. There's nothing behind his words of any substance whatsoever. He's just a fucking loser whose only fucking goal in life is to try to upset people. That's shitposting 101, right? That's why people don't like them. They offer nothing to society, as opposed to George Carlin and even, you know, Seth MacFarlane. I'm not really a big fan of Family Guy or anything, but I like the Orville, and that has some really good social issues that they tackle in the Orville. Much like Star Trek did. So, I think it's a really good show for that purpose. And, oh God, this is, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro. This is genius logic from Ben Shapiro. Now, let's see if this logic applies to anything else. Let's see here. Ben Shapiro says, so if Bran knew the future the whole time, wasn't he just complicit in the murder of 1 million people in King's Landing? If he was all-knowing... omniscient. Isn't he complicit in the murder of all those people? Who else does that apply to? The God of the fucking Bible, dude? Don't you worship the God of the Bible? Isn't being Jewish like one of your big things? Don't you continuously fall back on the Bible and use it as your moral code? Using that logic, the God of Abraham was complicit for knowingly creating flawed humans and then genociding them a couple of times because of their flaws. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Nope. At least Game of Thrones makes a little more sense. I can understand, at least, you know, Bran is not all-powerful. He couldn't have just blinked his eyes and stopped it from happening like your God could. So, see the problem with your logic there, Ben? If only you could use the same logic to your own religion as you do television shows you watch. But that's too much to ask, isn't it? And, Christiosity, this is making fun of that Sam Harris tweet. A paradox of our time, the far left is disproportionately white wealthy. So stupid, Sam. Like, seriously, dude. Get a grip. The fucking left is allowed to criticize you without you freaking out and jumping on the anti-SJW. The left is evil bandwagon. It's silly, dude. Christy says, I'm fascinated by this unsourced and frankly silly claim because of the projection. Yeah, no shit. This is actually true of those who identify as atheists, though I don't think there is any good source trying to talk about the demographics of the far left. Yeah, you don't know what saying the far left is like mostly wealthy, white, and educated. Even that is not sourced by anything. Worldwide, is that true? I'm not sure the left is mostly white worldwide at all, because, you know, white people are a minority in the world, like it or not. And there are a lot of fucking left-wing people that are not white all over the place. So, dumb on many levels, Sam. Disappointing, but not surprised. Seems to be the way Sam is going. And this one's from Sofane. You guys know Sofane? He seems all right. He used to be one of the alt-light, chuddy kind of guys, I think. I didn't really know that much about him, but that was the impression I got. He was one of the guys that, it was in that picture with Sargon where they were holding the Keck flag up and they were all doing the OK symbol. And he's kind of gotten away from that now. He's embarrassed by his past, like so many of them are. And he's trying to make amends and do better now. And so I really give him big kudos for that. But he's making fun of this bitch, and I don't blame him because, goddamn, these kind of women, they just drive me fucking nuts. She says, I would dump a guy if he got me a nasty, cheap Pandora ring for my engagement. A guy should spend 20% of his yearly salary on a ring. Don't you agree, girls? No. I would, like any girl that wanted me to spend $1 on a ring, I wouldn't marry. $0 for you. Buy your own ring, bitch. Seriously, for one, if you're dumb enough to want a diamond to begin with, I wouldn't want to marry you. If you're dumb enough to pay so much money for a fucking rock that is not even rare, to buy into the marketing, to buy into the con job of the diamond cartel that make you to believe these rocks are actually something that are worth money, when they could actually scientifically manufacture fake diamonds these days that are basically impossible to tell from the real thing. They're abso-fucking-lutely worthless. Any idiot that would pay 20% of his yearly salary for a ring for you is stupid as fucking shit, man. You're not even that cute, dude. Man, I wouldn't pay like 1% of my yearly salary for a ring for you. Tie a piece of string around your finger, and if that's good enough for you, maybe I'd marry you. And if it's not, hit the fucking bricks, chick. Seriously, I can't stand fucking chicks like that. And Sophie said, LOL. Are these dumb chicks fucking with me this morning? I'd rather spend 20% of my annual salary on BK milkshakes. Hell yeah. Milkshake's good as fuck. I almost drank this whole milkshake already. See that? It's almost gone, man. Didn't throw it at nobody or nothing. I'm going to turn you into poo. Hell yeah. And next up, I'm going to talk about Rational Disconnect. Rational Disconnect. Pretty good guy to follow on Twitter, if you're not already. So we're going to talk about Ian Michaels Chong. I think that Ian Miles, I always call him Michael. I don't know why I call him Michael. Ian Miles Chong, blue check. You guys know who this guy is? Another right-wing chud. Like, this is the chuddiest of the chud. This guy used to be like a Nazi or something, like an Asian Nazi. Lives in Malaysia, I think. I don't think he's ever been in the United States, but he's made his living being a right-wing goon, so he, like, puts his nose into American politics and everything, supports Trump, and is always talking about SJWs and shit. Even though he's in Malaysia, has nothing to do with our culture whatsoever. It's just how he makes money. So he's almost like a foreign agent that's interfering in our politics and shit. But anyway, all he does is shit on the left all day now and shit on the and give the right a pass. But this dude, let me see if I can let me pull it up here. This dude actually swatted Andy Warski and tried to get Andy Warski killed. Now, I don't like Andy Warski. Like, I'm not a fan of Andy Warski. What a dipshit, dickhead, racist prick that motherfucker is. But at the same time, yeah, don't fucking try to swat people and get them killed who you disagree with. So I guess Andy Warski was going to do a video about Ian Miles Chong. And so Ian Miles Chong was bragging to this girl that he was trying to mac on the internet because he's a pathetic incel. He used to literally, this guy used to write an article called Incel Corner. He used to work for Milo Yiannopoulos and wrote an article under a website listed as Incel Corner to the other incels. So that's what he is. So he was trying to mac on this girl and I guess impress her. So he was... he sent her these voice messages explaining to her that Andy Warski was going to make a video about him. And so he called the police on Andy Warski and tried to have Andy Warski murdered by the cops and admitted to this in audio chat with her. And she recorded and she released them to humiliate him because he is an idiot. So let's listen.
Thing out saying that he's going to make a video on me. That really actually set me off. I did not need to see that. I'm more than happy to just let him leave me alone. But he forced my hand, so I called the police. I actually called the police on him. I know what he does. I know he has illegal firearms. I know that he is deeply entrenched in the alt-right. I know that he has a lot of cocaine in his house. Yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked. I even talked to them on the phone. So, who knows? Maybe they'll pay him a visit very soon. And hopefully soon the Mississauga police will be paying him a nice little visit. I told them that he was armed and dangerous, because he is. He's got guns, and that he's prone to bouts of schizophrenia and bouts of violence, so he might be in for a treat. It's all true, by the way. He is prone to all these things, so that's not just me trying to get him killed. That's actually true. They need to be careful.
What about like doxing somebody? Do you think you should...
That's just not me just trying to get him killed. Yeah, dude, it sounds like you're trying to fucking get him killed and shit. Craziness. Anyway, he was on Destiny, and Destiny asked him about this, and this is what he had to say about it.
Should be allowed to post somebody's personal information on social media?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. What about things like swatting? Like if you call a police station and make a false report or
Swatting?
whatever?
Oh, absolutely not. That's not under free speech. I mean, that is, you're inciting violence, or rather not inciting violence, but causing violence, right? You can cause a person to get killed if you swat them.
But not necessarily, right?
Not necessarily, but again, it's a waste of police time. Those cops they are using, they could be elsewhere saving lives or doing whatever, just doing their jobs.
So he's a giant hypocrite, basically. Fucking giant, literally trying to get the guy killed. I'm not doing this just to get him killed, but you're doing it partially to get him killed? Yep. But anyway, he's all mad about the milkshake thing. This guy who literally swatted somebody and tried to get them killed is mad at milkshake jokes. Woke people, throwing milkshakes at people isn't violence. Also woke people, misgendering somebody is literally violence. And I'm woke, and I don't think I've ever said misgendering somebody is literal violence. Maybe there's somebody that says that. I don't know, but it's rude. Just like calling somebody the N-word is, rude and unacceptable in the workplace. A small fine is necessary, in my opinion, to correct that behavior, but violence, I wouldn't say that. But anyway, yeah, this is the guy that thinks swatting people is okay. This is the guy who's trying to get people who make videos against him killed by the police, but don't make a milkshake joke. That's just awful. And also, he also sent David Charette, Discard Spies. He sent them somebody's docs, so he's a known doxer. So hypocrites on the right, nothing new. That's what they do. Usual MO from the righties. And another one from Rational Disconnect. This is one from Prison Paul Joseph Watson. And this is pointing out how many times Prison Paul fearmongered about demographic suicide. And demographic suicide is just a rebranding of white genocide. They're trying to make white people scared that your culture is being bred out or immigrated out. And so he talks about this all the fucking time. This is one of the more reasons that places like Facebook don't want to platform him. European leaders are committing cultural and democratic suicide. Video, let the German audience applause Muslim women call for their own democratic suicide, or demographic suicide, rather. Pro-migrant politician celebrates demographic suicide. So this is great replacement. White genocide. This is all it is. This is fear-mongering. Yes, well done, Angela Merkel, for importing a real rape culture and committing demographic suicide. So it's basically, like I said, it's just him rebranding the white genocide conspiracy theory. Cologne is just another reminder that European leaders are committing demographic suicide. So, dog whistling, that's what he does. Puts out his conspiracy theories to make people afraid of immigrants, to make white people think that they're being replaced, and it's directly leading to violence, and that's why people don't want to be associated with him, not because they hate free speech or we're just snowflakes, they don't want him to say the truth. No, we don't want him to spread violence and fear and cause people, to be killed. Simple as that. Pro tip, never trust anyone who says, I don't agree with everything he or she says, but Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Jordan Peterson, Candace Owens, Tommy Loring, Cruella DeVille, Snidely Whiplash, Charlie Kirk, and Coulter, the Hamburglar, wait, he doesn't talk, make some good points. And this is the amazing atheist defense of Paul Joseph Watson. It's like, I don't agree with everything Paul Joseph Watson says, but I have never once ever told you what I disagree with him about, and instead, here are 10 reasons I agree with him. That's exactly what they do. That's what like Tim Pool does with Trump. I disagree with Trump, but here's a 50-minute video explaining exactly why he is correct. I don't like Trump, but here's 90,000 reasons why all his supporters are right, We see right through that shit. You're not fooling anybody. We know why you're doing that. You're doing it to try to make it look you're not one-sided, but you are one-sided. You're not. It's just silly. It's insulting to our intelligence. Be nice if you guys quit doing this. Another one from David Charette. Becoming everything the libs accused you of to own the libs. And this is Lindsay Shepard. You guys know who Lindsay Shepard is? She basically was a teacher's assistant at a college. And she decided, without the teacher's permission, to go play some videos of Jordan Peterson because her class really needed to know fucking what Jordan Peterson's opinion about trans issues were. It was real important. So she got in trouble, and some professors and some of the administration who worked at the school, they were idiots too. And she recorded them saying stupid shit about like how she might have violated Bill C-16, which she didn't. She was never charged with the violation of Bill 616 because she had no way violated Bill 616. These two guys were idiots, and they were basically just bitching at her about it. So she recorded them, and she became famous for that. And her whole thing was, I'm not even fucking conservative at all, man. I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal. These people are treating me so bad as a liberal. But she ain't a liberal. She just fucking lying. She's like, I take public transit. That means I'm a liberal. Dude. Taking public transit doesn't make you a fucking liberal, dude. She's not a liberal. And she's even gone public admitting that she dates alt-right guys because they're the sexiest. Oh, they're so sexy. The way they hate black people. Ooh, it just makes my juices flow. I get so wet thinking about how they fucking hate trans people and black folks. Ooh, sliding off my chair. So anyway, literally she dates right-wing chuds, alt-right dudes. She's admitted to that. So anyway, here she is on the JF Garapay. Remember, I covered him on the last show and his creepy ass. He's a white supremacist who wants a white nationalism. He wants a white ethnic state. And so obviously she's going on his show because she's so liberal, right? This is what liberals do. They go on JF's show and spreads fear of white genocide. Yeah, that's what she's doing here. So let's have a listen.
But there's still people who want to pretend this isn't happening, or you're saying something wrong by saying it is happening. And to be honest, when it comes to being a white minority, number-wise, like quantitatively, I'm not sure I'm so worried about that. But what I am worried about is how we're going to be treated as a minority. Because right now, for example, are whites going to get affirmative action programs? And are we going to be like hired if we ever become the minority in, for example, the academic setting? Are they going to actively try to recruit more white professors?
All right, so stupid. All right, a couple things. She's like, oh, by 2030, the whites are going to be the minority. Oh, we're going to be the minority majority. This is a very important distinction that they're not bringing up because they don't really want you to think about it. When they say the white people are going to be more minority, they want you to think that they're going to be like black people are going to be more than white people. They're going to be more Mexicans than white people. They're going to be more Muslims than white people. But no, we're going to be the minority majority, which means we'll be 49% of the population, but we will still be the largest demographic by far of any of the races. I think the nearest one will be Mexicans at 15%. So we will still be 49% of the population, and the nearest demographic will be 15%. This is what they're trying to make you freak out about. It's nothing. Will we get affirmative action? If in the future, like they've done studies, I think, Sean Jen put out a video that showed that if the fertility rates continue the exact same way they're going now, that white people will still maintain the majority for at least 400 or 500 years. So yes, in 400 or 500 years, if white people eventually become a minority to one of the other races, and in this time period, there is proof that white people are getting less jobs because of systemic racism than the other races, then yes, white people will need affirmative action. But until that happens, no. If we just become the minority majority, still 49% of the population, and we still control everything in society, it's still a white system set up by white people primarily to keep white people in power like it is now, no, obviously we are not going to get any kind of affirmative action. What the fuck are you talking about? It's just stupid. This is just white genocide, victim playing, identity politics bullshit, from yet another person that's claiming that they're a liberal when they're clearly just a fucking conservative. You're on fucking a white nationalist podcast bitching about being a white person, how tough it is. It's just so silly. Keep going.
And, right now it's okay to have a certain amount of contempt for white people because of the sins of our fathers and all that. Like the...
That is not why people have contempt for white people or modern white people. Yes, they have contempt for past white people for things they've done in the past. But their contempt for modern white people is because many of them refuse to recognize the system for what it is. And that is a system that was set up for white people on the backs, not only on the backs. There are a lot of other white people that worked very, very hard to build our country. I'm not saying that. But also, a lot of it was built on the backs of minorities. A lot of it was stolen. A lot of the wealth was stolen from minorities. And the system was created by white people and set up for the benefit of white people, and it still to this day benefits white people because white people are tribalistic, and we're not just white. All people are tribalistic. But part of tribalism is racism, and so the fact that white people still primarily have the most power in this country means that we still pretty much run things, and the system is set up under tribalistic bases, so it's set up mostly to help white people. So that's why people have a problem with modern white people. It's because they refuse to recognize the system and help to change it. It's not because of what your past ancestors have done. It's because of what you're doing and what you felt to, the responsibility you felt to live up to. So anyway, that was stupid too.
Young tweets and all that. So right now it's okay to show a little bit of contempt for whites. But when we are the minority, is that going to be okay? And right now, you'll see tons of headlines about things that are too white, or they lack diversity, which just means too white. The Vancouver City Council this past year, in October 2018, I think it was either 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 councillors elected were white. And so you saw all these headlines that said, white out, or like, Vancouver City Council is too white. Is that still going to happen? Or would we ever say that a Vancouver City Council is too brown or too Asian?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, if it was a town that had a lot of white people in it and there were very few white people represented on the council, yes, you would see the exact same thing, right? What the fuck are you even talking about? It's just trying to play the victim so hard. Come on, white people. Our lives are not fucking tough. We're not fucking being oppressed. On some small levels, yes, some white people are having bad lives, obviously, but overall, white people are not having a hard time of it. The system is still set up for us, by us, and this white fragility movement is just so silly. You guys continuously blame everybody else for playing the victim. You're the one fucking demographic that absolutely should not be playing the victim, and you're the one playing the victim about as hard as anybody else. How can your fan base not see the hypocrisy in this? It's insane.
I can't really see that happening.
Absolutely. I'm also worried about this. As far as I can tell, the path of white rights as they become minorities is down to genocide, potentially. In certain places of the world.
It's going to be genocide. They're going to genocide white people. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have no rights. Once we're only 49% of the population, then they're going to genocide the fuck out of us. Even though the nearest other demographic is 15% and we're still going to be by far the greatest demographic, they're going to genocide all of us. Be afraid. Be very afraid, because this JF guy really knows what the fuck he's talking about, doesn't he? You should be ashamed, Lindsay Shepherd. You should be seriously ashamed. This is what you've boiled down to. This is what you've turned into, right? You've turned into the exact thing you claimed that you weren't. Everybody said you were. Everybody said you were a right-wing chug. You said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I take public transit. But you are. You're literally on the show of a white nationalist preaching white genocide, basically. Preaching white fragility. And it's just, not surprising, but definitely deserves to be called out. You sad, sad bitch. And let's take a break here and let's read some super chats. Super chats. All right. $5 Canadian for HS Ross. Did you miss some super chats above? I thought I saw one about Iran and a few others, which I don't remember hearing responses. All right. Well, it's possible. Let's see. Did I miss one? War Talk. Nope. Answer that one. Tommy Robertson, Zionist Shill. Answer that one. Soy Milk. Nope. Answer that one. Nope, answered that one. I think I answered them all. I think I answered the question about Iran, too. So, thank you for that. Appreciate that, but I think I answered them. Okay, Hones Buckler 499, thank you very much for the pups. They will enjoy that. I will buy them a bone in your honor. Tyson Mine at $5. You should read the Game of Thrones books. I've read them twice, and if you haven't, you are missing out. Okay, I haven't read them yet, but I will check them out. I'm going to wait till they get finished. So, when I'm 90, when they're finally completely finished, I will read them. $3.49 from New Zealand. Fuck yeah, Dusty. Well, fuck yeah, PES. Appreciate that, man. And Nick Candy gave me $2. White people are becoming a minority. Finally! Yep. So hard being white. I am so oppressed and sad all the time. If I could be any other race, I wouldn't do it. I would still be white because, let's face it, being white is awesome. Let's not lie about it. Another $8.99 from PES. You're the man, Dusty. Much love from New Zealand. I am native to New Zealand, but we make up 20 of the pop. Ain't that a bitch? Yep, that is a bitch. I got some friends in New Zealand. Tim Blake, my friend. And I met a Maori, is that her name? A Maori girl, really cute Maori girl when I was in Denver. And she was thinking about getting tattoos all over her face because that's apparently what they do there, the tribal people. But man, she was cute. It's like, don't do that, girl. Don't mess up your face. It's like a piece of art. Don't put tattoos all over your face. And she was like, but it's my people's. And I was like, all right, whatever. Do what you got to do. More super chats, please. Lifeblood of the show. No question dodged. Hook me up, folks. Need your support. And Michael Bouchette says, Michael Buickart, you guys' names are hard. Pick easier names, motherfuckers. Seriously. And so basically, Lauren Chen, you guys know who that is, Romy Milidio, cute as shit, but dumb as shit and horrible human being. She basically is taking up for Lindsay Shepard going on JF's show. Pseudo-intellectual. Yep, that's definitely what Lauren Chen is. And Lindsay Shepard's taking shit for going on JF's show, which she should. And Lauren Chen's like, people who attack others for going on a platform they don't like are ridiculously frustrating. If they have a problem with what you actually said, then that's one thing. But otherwise, it's just, I don't like where you said these things. No, she's going on this channel on the show of a white nationalist. And she is basically giving white nationalists, white supremacists talking points to this white nationalist, where he is taking and he is telling his audience that it will lead to white genocide. Yes, you should take shit for that. What the fuck, dude? Goddamn, Lauren Chen, come on. And Michael says, this particular platform happened to be the podcast of a white supremacist. On that platform, she pontificated about anti-white discrimination, and the white supremacist host responded by talking about white genocide. This isn't hard. It's not fucking hard, Lauren. What the fuck? Multiple mass shooters, terrorists, have claimed the reason they did it is because they believe the white genocide, a great replacement theory put out by people like JF, Lauren Southern, and that is helped being pushed right now by Lindsay Shepard on JF's podcast. That's why people fucking have a problem with this. It's not, oh, you just don't like where she went to talk. Nah, bitch, we don't like she's going on a white nationalist podcast talking about white nationalism. What the fuck? You're like half Asian. You're not even going to be allowed into the ethno state. Why are you standing for these people? How self-hating can you possibly get? Seriously, chick, stand up. And so Arnold Schwarzenegger was like at I guess it was a fan meetup, or I don't know where the fuck he was at, right? He was somewhere where there was fans, maybe some kind of weightlifting competition. I don't know. But some crazed fan ran up to him and drop-kicked him and attacked Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, hell no, this guy is a national treasure. You do not fucking attack Arnold Schwarzenegger. Are you out of your goddamn mind? And I'm going to click on it if it will click. Come on, you can do it. What in the absolute fuck? Come on, there we go. Hate this shit. And so there's Arnold Schwarzenegger standing there, just looking like a fucking boss, like he do. And he got like a phone in his hand or something. I don't know what he's got. But play, bitch. Play. And he's just standing there. This chick's jump roping. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere. Come on, you can do it. Let's go. Out of nowhere. Here we go. Any second now. It's happening. Wait for it. Wait for it. Here it comes. I promise. Come on. Hurry up. There you go. Boom. Drop kick. Boom. Didn't even phase him. Look, he barely even budges. That thick motherfucker. He's like, what? Did a fly just touch me? Did a little fly just land on me? Like it was nothing. Nothing happened. Just bip. That's a pretty cool move though. Drop kick. Never seen anybody drop kick in fucking real life. He thought he was like in the WWF ring or some shit. Drop kick, motherfucker. But apparently he was a crazed fan or something. I guess he was thinking, hey, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. If I go up and drop kick him, he will think it's awesome. He'll be like, haha, that was hilarious. The way you drop kicked me in public. We're best friends now. Let's tickle each other's buttholes. Nope, didn't work out like you thought it would, dude. Don't fuck with Schwarzenegger. It will only go wrong. And this chick, love this chick. This is Miss BO55. You guys need to go fucking follow her if you haven't. There's a longer video of this. I would rather play the longer video, but I couldn't find it right off the top of my head.
Body is not a political playground. It's not a place for legislation. It's mine and it's my future. And my body is not a political playground. It's not a place for legislation. It's mine and it's my future. And
yep. I love her fucking attitude. Sexy as fuck. She's talking to Beta. And it's not amazing the way he interviews her, because he's basically calling her a slut and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I'm a slut, motherfucker. I'm a slut. Your mama a slut. And they're talking about the abortion issue. So she handles it perfectly. Love her fucking attitude. What a queen. And JLP sucks. Dangerous guy. People think he's just like a comic relief, but he actually says a lot of really dangerous, horrible shit and should be called out for. And the right is getting better comedy, and it's making the left nervous. These right-wing chuds.
And not be a liberal. How does that happen?
So it started out as satire.
They're
right?
so fucking cringe. Apparently, he's interviewing a guy who has this satirical Twitter account making fun of liberals. And they're just so... Look how fake they are. Look how fake this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. I just know he's some kind of right-wing idiot.
How does one come up with the name typical liberal or the typical liberal? How does one cut and not be a liberal? How does that happen?
So it always...
How could you possibly think of something so genius? I mean, you're not a liberal, but you came up with the name typical liberal. How did you even come up with that? That's genius. Did your brain explode when you came up with that? No, dude, that's not funny. That's nothing funny about that at all. What the fuck are you even talking about? You guys are so corny and lame. He clearly was just like, hey, I want to make fun of liberals by strawmanning everything they do, so I'm just going to come up with a dumb name called typical liberal, and idiots like you will shout me out, and I will get tons of fucking Twitter followers, and that's exactly what happened. Not really that cool of a story. Not that interesting, to be honest. Embarrassing. But that's what all these right-wing dudes are. Totally embarrassing. And I don't even know how the fuck this happened. Apparently, this guy went to Taco Bell, which I love to eat some Taco Bell. That's great food when you're a vegetarian. 7-layer burritos for the win. I eat a bunch of 7-layer burritos. That is like a staple of my fucking diet. Would you goddamn go big? I will kill everything about this.
It's not
I will
what
murder
you
your
think
entire
and what you
lineage,
see.
motherfucker. You don't even
We
know.
don't follow those people.
You don't even fucking know. Shut
Those
the fuck
people-
up. Shut the fuck up. All right. So anyway, this dude goes to Taco Bell, and I have no idea why, but for some reason, this chick starts bitching at him about Islam. I don't know how this conversation got started, but bitch, you at Taco Bell, you ain't supposed to be having a debate with somebody at the drive-thru about fucking Islam and be rude to them. What did you thinking? I'm sure she got fired to this, but anyway, he goes to Taco Bell for Ramadan. I don't really know why or how Taco Bell is acceptable food for Ramadan, but apparently it is. And this happens.
Right. Well, my number's in there somewhere, so.
And I'd love to talk to you because I want to let you
My
know.
number's in there somewhere.
I want to tell you, like, it's not what you think and what you see in the news. Those people, we don't follow those people. Those people are monsters. Those people are disgusting. Those are the people that make the religion look
I'm gonna tell
bad.
you right now, until you call me and change my mind, Muslim motherfuckers can suck my dick.
That's how you feel about me, though?
My country. They killed thousands of my people.
See, that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
You need to change
We're not,
my mind.
That's,
and I'm not going to cater to you. You're going to cater to me. Because this is on my territory. And I understand.
but I'm an American, just like you. Just because of
Look at her face.
how you
No, you're not. You're brown. You're a Muslim. You're not really American. This is my territory, and all Muslims are to blame for 9/11. All of you are to blame. So does that mean Christians are to blame for everything that other Christians do? Really? You want to play this game? And you're probably Republican. Are you to blame for all the shit Republicans are doing? You're to blame for the Republicans that went and shot up mosques? Are you to blame for pipe bombs? Are you to blame for the Iraq War? It's all that on you? I don't think you're really take that kind of responsibility, are you? You hypocritical bitch.
What you believe and what I believe.
You find a woman. What's your belief?
I believe I'm a Muslim. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect at their religion.
So you believe that a woman should bow down to you?
And I would never believe that. Women have equal rights as men. That's what God says
So
in the
that's
book.
not Muslim. That's not Muslim.
See, Muslim and what?
How the fuck do you know what a Muslim is, bitch? You don't know what the fuck Muslim. All you know is what you've been told, right? Most of the Muslims are just like Christians. They don't actually follow the fucking book, dude. It's a name only. It's because they're raised in that culture and they're culturally Muslims, just like most people are culturally Christians. Sigh. And she drunk. Like, you're at work, dude. Lay off the sauce.
You're in whatever religion you're thinking Muslim is in your head is not what you believe.
Anyway,
it's not the
I'm
same
getting
belief.
yelled at to get you. I'm off my. We getting counted. Your car's getting counted on a timer. So
get the fuck out of here.
Hit me up on my phone. I'd love to talk to you about this because
because I'm an ignorant bitch who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Need somebody to correct me. Stat. But probably got fired from that. This video went viral, so I doubt she still has a job, and she really shouldn't. Don't fucking sit there and tell Muslims that they're motherfuckers that are responsible for 9/11 in the fucking drive-thru. Ma'am, this is a Taco Bell. And this, I don't know what the fuck's happening here, but this is amazing. Apparently this is real. Like this is a 10-minute documentary about this dude's dad. And this is so unbelievably cringe, but it's so hilarious at the same time.
He's got like every meme ever produced on the internet.
This is what these people really think. They think they're involved in some kind of war on the internet, and memes are their weapons, and they're actually winning and destroying people with their meme weapons. Cringe.
I can have a meme war with anybody and destroy him. And I've done it. And people actually bail at the end and go, who is this guy? He's got like every meme ever produced on the internet. He can knock us out with his memes. And I do. I have tons of memes. I'll just keep memeing them to death until they just surrender because they just can't do it anymore. They don't have the memes that I have.
Who is this guy? This guy's kicking our ass with the memes. Everybody bail. Oh, shit. We're getting owned by memes. He never stops. Where does he get all these memes? It's like he has a folder full with memes. Oh, my God, the memes. And there's even more of this shit. Let's see if I can find some more of this shit. This is so funny. Nope, that ain't it. Where the fuck is it? Where's the video, Krang? Here we go. Krang T. Nelson, he's pretty popular on Twitter for those of you who want to follow him.
You know, if you have, weapons, you have to be able to get to them. And you got to know where they are, which ones are where they are. So, I mean, I alphabetize them so I can get to them quickly. And I can use them fast. Because a lot of times in a meme war, it's about speed. You got to get to your memes quick. If you can't get to them...
I got folders full of memes. They're alphabetized. I have my weapons alphabetized. You got to get to your weapons fast. See, the memes are my weapons, and I got to get to them fast. So I have them all advertised. Anyway, this is called My Dad, the Facebook Addict, and this dude, takes it so seriously. I can only assume he is some kind of conservative. I don't know if it ever says in this documentary. It's only 10 minutes long, but pretty interesting stuff and pretty cringe. There are a lot of old white people that are like this, and stop it. Stop it immediately. And you guys remember Milo, right? Milo Snuffleupagus used to be a thing, but it's not a thing anymore because it came out that he supports pedophilia, and he's just a shithead. It really boils down to that. The guy really got famous because they protested him when he tried to go speak at colleges, but the reason they were protesting him is because when he was speaking, he was calling out trans people, like people that weren't out as trans. He was calling them out purposely to make their lives difficult. He was basically harassing trans people for no other reason than the fact they were trans, because he was trying to get them to boycott. He was trying to get them to protest so he could play the victim. That's what all these people do. So he basically was outing trans people that weren't out and trying to make their lives more difficult. So they would all protest him, and he could be like, look, they're against free speech, and I'm a free speech warrior, so support me. And it worked out brilliantly because this guy went into debt millions of dollars, which means he was able to con people into giving him millions of dollars, which is fucking insane. But anyway, now he's out here calling for civil war in America. I shit you fucking not. He's like, I abhor political violence. Sure you do. Sure you do. Let me be clear about that. But, you have to love that but. I'm not a violent person. I abhor violence. But, it's like they say, anything before the word but is bullshit. That's true in this case too. But when somebody takes away your freedom, your speech, and your ability to protect yourself and your family, there aren't many options left. At least that's how citizens quickly come to feel. It's getting close to that time when, per America's founding documents, citizens will start forming into well-regulated militias in preparation for the lawful defense of the Constitution. And maybe I'm the right person to sketch out how that should work. Yes. Maybe a person that is not American, who this won't affect any way whatsoever, should be in charge of America's civil war, right? Can you imagine being a foreigner who gets banned from Facebook and your response is, hey, you guys should kill each other over it. Somebody needs to start popping off some violence over there in America. Donald Trump needs to start a war, take over Facebook, get me back on Facebook stat. I'll be over here in UK chilling out, wearing my shirts that say stop being poor and sucking my boyfriend's black cock all day long while you guys are over there killing each other, brother and brother, to get me back on Facebook. That would be hilarious. I'm just the man to make this happen. No, you're not. You know, maximum cell size, encrypted comms. Like I said, I abhor violence, except you're literally advocating violence right now. So, but civil war is coming, is it? And if it does, well-meaning but poorly informed and relentlessly deplatformed conservatives are going to need a handbook. So I guess I guess Milo is going to write the new Civil War handbook on how people can kill us because we're liberals and we've banned them from Facebook. Is this real life right now? The same motherfuckers who are bitching about milkshakes aren't saying shit about this. Where the fuck is Paul's ego calling out Milo for calling for civil war? Where the fuck is Tim Pool? Where the fuck is Sargon? Where the fuck are all you guys at? No. Milkshakes are the problem, and milkshakes are violence. How about cause for violence or violence? How about fucking calling for a new civil war because you got banned from Facebook as violence? Why not cover the shit that actually is important instead of this minutia bullshit? Well, it's obvious. It's because you have a right-wing fan base that you're trying to make money off of, and if you do that, you will make less money. Not that hard to understand, is it? Let me stop reading super chats, then I'm going to go into the religious bullshit part of the show. For those of you who miss my religious bullshit videos, I do a religious bullshit video at the end of every show, almost at the end of every show. I did it at the end of the last show because I fucked up and didn't have it saved properly, but I had them saved properly this week, and I'm going to do it next. Let's see. I got 50, it's not pounds, it's 50 euros. That's what it is, 50 euros. I'm learning. Yeah, 50 euros. Thank you, Andreas. That's very kind of you, and I really appreciate it. Very generous. Didn't say anything, but I still think you are sexy, and if we were ever alone together, I would kiss you on the mouth. Hells yeah. Pyroplasma gave me $2 and says, Mr. Dusty, I've done it. I've stopped racism. Yay! That was you? Congratulations, man. You rock, or woman, as the case may be. Thank you for that. More super chats. Lifeblood of the show. Really appreciate it. And also, I go back through and I'll read every fucking message you guys leave me in the chat. Last show, somebody typed out, Dusty doesn't really go back through and read all this stuff. He's lying. I read that. Yeah, I did. So I do go back through and read all the shit you guys say. Every word of it. I'm reading it right now. So I'm paying attention. So you guys make sure that you leave your messages. Let me know what you think about the show and the topics that I'm talking about live as I'm doing them. And it's really helpful and entertaining for everybody. So kudos to you guys. Back to the show. Time for some religious bullshit. So a bunch of college kids are protesting the shit out of Mike Pence, which is exactly what the fuck they should do. Yesterday, get the fuck off. Fuck you, Pathos. I ain't supporting you, even though I do pretty much copy your entire website for my show and steal everything you've done. Ha ha ha! Thank you, Hemant Mehta. Appreciate that. Yesterday, Vice President Mike Pence delivered a commencement address at Taylor University, a small Christian school in Upland, Indiana. You might expect the reception to be as warm as it was last week at Liberty University, but last month, dozens of faculty members expressed opposition to his appearance. One petition protesting his speech even said signers didn't want to appear complicit in the Trump-Pence administration policies, which we believe are not consistent with Christian ethics of love. So basically they got up and they walked out as soon as he entered the room. And this is what we really need to fucking see more of. You know, this is the kind of protest we need. You don't have to stand in the room with these fucking assholes you disagree with, especially these anti-gay bigots like Pence is. These Christian assholes. You can stand up to them. You can do exactly what they did. As for the speech, Pence pretty much reiterated what he said last week, pretending that Christians were under attack and that the graduates need to stand up against the fictional bullies that exist only the religious right's mind. Yeah, it's basically all these speeches he's been giving is like, yeah, Christians, it's become cool to make fun of them these days, and that's a really bad thing. Yeah, it has become cool to make fun of them these days because atheists are no longer killed for talking out about you guys. The moment you guys stop killing motherfuckers for talking out about you, the moment your religion pretty much died, because we don't have to be afraid of you anymore. We can actually speak the truth, and since what you spread is foul and it's wrong, both morally and scientifically, it's easy to fucking destroy. So yes, you guys are idiots. You're putting out ancient monkey text. You're still believing ancient ridiculous fairy tales that in the modern era, 2019 current year, anybody with half a brain should know is not true anymore. So yes, it has become cool to make fun of you for obvious fucking reasons. Deal with it. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. You guys are going to go extinct. It's going to happen. And, you know, and it's not anybody's fault for your own, for believing something that's simply not true, for being brainwashed. And Rick Wiles says that Alabama's abortion ban is an effort to impose Christian rule in America. He's telling the truth, at least. Rick Wiles is telling the truth for once. And this is Rick Wiles, by the way. He's this right-wing dipshit that always is saying stupid shit about liberals. And he says, we Christians are standing up and pushing out Zionism. Oh, yeah, it's the Jews, by the way. I forgot to mention that. If you're wondering who's responsible for all this, the Jews. It's always the Jews. Fucking Jews. Man, they're so well organized, aren't they? Hard to believe that they're so fucking well organized that they're in charge of everything. They're in charge of pretty much every global conspiracy that is bringing about the end of white civilization. Fuck, the Jews are smart. Weil said that what we're doing, Zionism, brought the slaughter of 65 million babies to America, and we're going to end it, and we are going to impose Christian rule in this country. Nah, maybe. That's scary, though. Hopefully not. Hopefully you're wrong. We became a Jewish nation that kills babies. Citation needed. That's against my Christian belief. We are going to impose Christian values in America again, whether you like it or not. Well, I don't like it, and I don't think you're going to do that. I think that we're going to get Trump out of office, and I think we're going to start fighting back. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to convince some of these anti-SJW channels, some of these conservative chud channels, to turn against the bullshit rhetoric they've been doing for the last couple years and instead begin attacking religion again instead of letting them pass. Hopefully we can start doing that again, get the skeptic and atheist community back to what it used to be. Maybe not. Maybe there's no money in that anymore, so maybe the fame whores won't go for that, but I'm still going to give it a shot. And did you guys know that atheists don't actually exist? Says Christian pseudo-historian Son. This is, I could play it for you, but it's, let's just play it. It's only a minute 29.
Most of the people that I have met or encountered who claim to be atheist are not atheists because they've actually done the research, which I think it's worth noting. The best you can be, if you're going to be intellectually honest, the best you can be is an agnostic.
You can be an agnostic atheist. These two things answer a completely different question. Agnosticism is about knowledge. Atheism is about belief. So since agnosticism is about knowledge, it's what you can and cannot know. So since I don't have all the information on Earth, I can't possibly know anything for 100%. But my atheism is about belief, what I do and do not believe. And since I hold no active belief in Christianity or any other religions, I am an atheist by definition of the word. So I'm an atheist, an agnostic atheist. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, as always. So anyway, what the fuck is this? Get off.
Saying, I don't really know if there's a God or not. You actually can't be an atheist. To be an atheist, you have to be able to make a definitive claim there is no God.
No, you're either an atheist or you're a theist. A in front of the word means not. So if you're not a theist, if you don't actively hold a belief in a God, you are an atheist by definition of the word. So words are hard. You don't know what you're talking about.
In order for you to make that claim, you have to have all knowledge.
No.
Which
Wrong.
I've never met even an atheist who acknowledges they know everything there is to know. So is it possible that there could be a God and you just don't know it?
Yes.
Well, if they say no, then they're acknowledging they know everything there is, which first of all is a problem. But secondly, let's say that you did have a great level of knowledge and understanding. Okay. Not only do you have to know everything there is to know to say with any kind of definition there is no, or definitiveness there is no God, you also have to be omnipresent, be everywhere at the same time.
See, this argument goes both ways though, right? You can't possibly be a Christian because you can't possibly know for 100% there's a God unless you know 100% of the information that exists in the universe. So the best you can be is an agnostic, not a Christian, by your own logic. So you see how stupid that is? See how stupid it is on both sides? Like I can turn that right back around on you.
Because what if God is in South Africa while you're in Switzerland? And then,
oh God, why would an all-powerful, all-knowing, omniscient God who was everywhere at once be in a certain country while I'm in another country? That doesn't really mesh with you guys' description of an all-powerful God who is everywhere, does it? You fucking moron.
Then you go to South Africa, but God's now over in New Zealand while you're in South Africa. You have to be everywhere at the same time to say that there is no God. So the best you can be is an agnostic and say, I'm not really sure if there is a God or not, because you don't have the knowledge you need to say there is no God. Generally what happens from people that are atheists is they're an atheist out of frustration, out of pain, out of, the hypocrisy of the church, the hypocrisy of the people. It's not because they've actually done the research.
What a blood of bullshit. You're an atheist because something bad happened to you. You're just mad at God. Nope. Not mad at God. Had an amazing life. I've literally had one of the greatest lives of anybody who's ever lived. I've been one of the happiest people of anybody who's ever lived. Very, very little as bad has happened to me in my life. It's been great. Like, if you ever get a chance to play the Dusty game, play that shit because it's amazing. So I'm not an atheist because something bad happened to me. I'm an atheist because I simply researched it and there's no evidence backing up any of the religions. So I hold no belief. Really fucking simple. But by your own logic, you can't be a Christian because you don't know everything for 100%. You're an agnostic. Checkmate, chud. And next up, did you know that if you have an abortion, that you will be aborted yourself forever in the pit of hell? That's right, folks. True story. This is definitely going to happen to you. Let's have a listen.
Please show me in the Constitution, where is the clause in the Constitution that says a woman has the right to murder an innocent baby? A bunch of reprobates on the Supreme Court declared that a constitutional right to murder babies exists.
Show me in the Constitution where it says weed is illegal. There's lots of shit in the Constitution that are laws that exist but aren't in there because it's a small document and we have a huge fucking body of laws in this country. Not all of them are in there. That's the way that shit works. You fucking child.
Exists in our Constitution. There is no such right.
Not a single place.
There is no such federal law. The Congress has never passed an abortion law. It's never happened.
Right.
Judges on the Supreme Court who defied the living God decided that they would legalize the slaughter of babies in this country. Those judges, some of them, I guess all of them by now, are dead. And their carcasses will burn in hell forever.
No, that's not how it works, is it? Isn't your carcass go on the ground? Isn't your soul that burns in hell for eternity? What are you even talking about? We know where their carcasses are. Don't you understand how death works? Your carcass doesn't disappear and go to hell, you fucking moron.
I personally believe that abortionists and those who fight for abortion, I believe that after you die and after the judgment of Almighty God on Judgment Day, I believe that abortionists and the supporters of abortion, I believe that their punishment in the lake of fire will be to be aborted continuously by demons.
Wow.
Continuous, perpetual, eternal abortion. Think about that, Doc.
No, I'm just sitting here.
Think about a demon with scalpels, scissors, cutting your spinal cord.
Again and again.
And again.
Crushing your skull.
Crushing your skull, ripping your heart out, using a vacuum cleaner to suck your organs out. And then it all goes back together and they do it again.
Maybe the demon even whispers, "You're not really a person. You're not really a person."
So in this analogy, am I a fetus who doesn't have a fully functioning brain, so I don't understand what's really happening? Or am I one of those fetus that don't exist, that has a fully functioning brain with all the memories that I had when I'm still alive and can understand exactly what's happening? Because it's not really how abortions work. And he says this is going to happen over and over again for billions of years, but wouldn't it get boring after a while? Like after like a billion years, the trillionth time you've been aborted, you'd be like, oh, here we go again. Yep, I'm in the womb again. Surrounded by amniotic fluid. Up, here comes the demons. Oh, the scalpels. Oh, I cut my spine again. There it goes. I cut my spine again. Fuck, that hurts. Shit. And now I'm back in the womb again. I'm back in the fucking womb again. This is on over again. I'm bored. I'm fucking bored. Can we jazz this up a little bit? Seriously. Just crush my skull this time. Come on, dudes. Make my life a little more exciting. But anyway, fear-mongering, that's all they fucking do. They make the worst possible punishment they can possibly think of so they can sell you their fake disease, the thing that will terrorize your mind, the absolute most unending suffering, an eternity of torture, the worst thing you can possibly think of, and we have the only cure. Join our cult. And black pastors and some Jews say that fur ban proposals is an attack on their faith. Don't worry, dudes. No one is stopping you from looking that stupid. Seriously, all right? No one is attacking your fucking faith. Look how fucking dumb they look. Like, what the fuck? Like, how can you... These goddamn idiots in their fucking goofy hats and their fucking boys' clothes believing they're special in some way. Yeah. An animal had to die for you guys to look that stupid. You realize this, right? An animal had to suffer and die so you guys look this fucking dumb. How do you not realize how fucking stupid you look? Please ban fur so these motherfuckers don't have an excuse to look that stupid. We're helping you out, dude. Seriously. And next up, from the Friendly Atheist, this fishing wire encircling Manhattan is a religious superstition run amok. This is hilarious. They literally pay, I think it's $150,000 a year in upkeep. So This is funny. Those of you who don't know about Judaism, they have all these rules that God set forth in the Bible. There's all these things that Jews can't do on certain days. And so obviously Jews want to do those things anyway. Fuck what the Bible says. Fuck what the all-powerful God is saying. And yeah, he might be looking at us, judging us. But hey, loopholes. We'll find loopholes to get around his laws. So apparently there's one of the Jewish laws, that on the Sabbath day, Friday night and Saturday night, Friday to Saturday night, you're not supposed to carry any of your possessions between private domains and public domains, because this makes sense. This is exactly how an all-powerful God would make you do things. And you can't carry things from inside your house to outside of your house. So instead, the Jews found a loophole. Basically, they've tied wires around poles and extended them throughout a large section of the city. This whole section of the city has wires running all around it. So then they could claim that somehow, because these wires are running everywhere, that this entire place is a private area, not public area. This is a private Jewish area that is enclosed by wires. Therefore, Jewish people can leave their houses in this area and transport stuff to and fro as much as they want. Loophole, God! They figured you out, dude. They got around your stupid rules. God's so stupid. Fuck you, God. Can't put your rules on us. We'll do what we want to, God. What the fuck do you know? And that is the end of our religious stories for tonight. Hope you enjoyed that. And I have a few more stories I want to cover. You guys know who Tony Robbins is? He's that giant ogre douchebag who is a... oh, God, look at this guy's face. God, I hate him. He's a... what do they call it? A motivational speaker for people that need that sort of thing. Like, why in the fuck would you need a motivational speaker? So... shocker, people have come out and saying he has sexually abused them, which is so surprising, seeing as what happened to him not long ago. You guys might remember this, but he got in trouble not too long ago by harassing a female member of his audience who came forward was basically supporting Me Too, and basically he was shitting on her and trying to intimidate her and telling her that the Me Too movement is basically harming men. So let's see if I can play that for you right here.
Straight his point.
Put out your fist. Why are you pushing back? I didn't tell you to push back. Why are you pushing back? Why are you pushing so hard? When you push someone else, it doesn't make you more safe. It just makes them angry.
He then shared an example of how he's apparently seen the movement play out in real life.
I just with someone the other day, very famous man, very powerful man, who's saying how stressed he is because he interviewed 3 people that day. One was a woman, 2 were men. The woman was better qualified, but she was very attractive, and he knew I can't have her around because it's too big a risk, and he hired somebody else. I had a dozen men tell me this.
I was really shocked by him saying that. It was a terrible example, horrible.
Even the founder of #MeToo, Tarana Burke, slamming the self-help guru, posting, "Tony Robbins, if you talk more to survivors and less sexist businessmen, maybe you'll understand what we want. We want safety, we want healing, we want accountability."
All right, so this was like last year. He's trying to kind of bully this girl for being supportive of Me Too, and he's shitting on Me Too movement. So no surprise, he's a fucking molester. He is a fucking sexual assaulter. And people have come forward. Self-help guru Tony Robbins accused of sexual misconduct rating victims of rape. Shocker! No wonder he hates the Me Too movement. He knew they were coming for him. He knew it was just a matter of time, and he wanted to get out and try to smear them before it hit him. But it hit you, motherfucker. Self-help guru Tony Robbins is now in the crosshairs of the Me Too movement, accused of sexual misconduct by former fans and staffers, and of regularly berating victims of rape, violence, and abuse as a form of therapy. Like, literally, anybody that needs this dude is kind of pathetic to begin with. All these self-help gurus are nothing but basically con men and cult leaders. He's like a cult leader, just like Jordan Peterson, right? So, seriously, folks, you don't need gurus like this to tell you how to live your life. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They talk with confidence, extreme confidence, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking. They're just trying to figure it out like everybody else is, right? Just like me and you. They don't have all the answers. They're not some super geniuses. They're just trying to convince you they know what they're talking about by being overconfident with everything they do. And people listen to him because he's tall and he has a voice of an ogre because he has a really deep voice. But no, he's just a fucking dickhead. He's just a fucking rich dickhead who's trying to get over you and con you. So, cut it out. And people are often talking about the fairness, how having transgender women compete is not fair. But, like, fairness in sports is kind of one of those things that is unquantifiable, right? It's one of those vague things that you just say, but fairness doesn't really exist in sports. Like, take this guy, for example, who is, like, a high school student, I think. Is it unfair that he has this disease that makes him much taller than everybody else? Is that fair? Like, what is fair? So, I don't know. The question of fairness is just something that hasn't been really well thought out, in my opinion. And before you bring that up, it needs more of a thought process to flesh that out, in my opinion, because not a real good description of it, in my opinion. And 2.5 hours. Going to do a 2.5 hour show tonight. Not going to make it to 3 hours. Going to be a shorter show. I'm about out of material. So I only have one thing to show tonight. So it's your last chance to get in the Super Chats. Support the show with the Super Chats while I do this final story. And it's a short story. It says, I feel sorry for her. This one's from Reddit. And yeah, I feel sorry for this chick too. This chick, this is kind of funny, but this chick had no idea the pool was there. No idea whatsoever. You can see, like, she steps on it thinking that she is just going to walk right across it. And for a second, she's so convincingly stepping on it like she's going to walk across it. I thought that she was going to actually walk across this pool. Like, she ain't paying attention. She ain't looking. She just steps. Yep, going to walk right on the water. And then, but no, you're not. No, you're not going to walk on the water because that's physics and gravity and whatnot. And that doesn't happen. So, yep, that's why you look where you're going, chick. You're in the water now. Let's take a look at that one more time. Look how confidently she walks in that fucking water. Look. She's like steps, then whoop, gone. Yep, no, that's what happened to you. So, better luck next time. Pay attention to where you're going. But thank you for the entertainment. And let's read the Super Chats before we close the show. What we got here? Let's see. $2 from Ethan Davenport says, I work at a dog daycare. Best job ever. Yeah, that sounds like a fun job. I pretty much do the same thing. Dogs all day long, all the time. They sure do love you, don't they? It's hard not to love them back. Death Grips 499 said, here's love from a longtime fan. Found you when I was 12, when I first started questioning what I was taught. Since birth, love you and I love logic. Well, I love you, man, and I also love logic, and I really appreciate that. I do the best I can, and you guys deserve all the credit because you're the guys who were brave enough to question what you were told. And once you question, it's pretty much all over for religion, isn't it? All they have on you is the fear of questioning. Once that's over, it's over for them. Volatile sent me $5. Thank you, Volatile. Appreciate that. And Fruit Bat sent me $5. Keep up the good work. Loving the CODcast. Do you think sloths are cute? Yeah, I think sloths are cute. They're pretty cool. Let's see, I heard something about sloths. I can't remember what it was. Are they mean, ruthless, vicious? I can't remember. Anyway, they're pretty cute, but they're slow as fuck. And they have weird hands, though. I don't think I want them touching me. But other than that, yeah, sloths are cool. So thank you for that question. Appreciate that. Oh, one more. Really enjoy the show tonight. Keep it up. I appreciate that. That is very, very, very kind of you. Thank you much. Spencer Walker gave me $2 and said, thumbnail! Hell yeah, I don't know what thumbnail you're talking about. I assume you mean the one where they're throwing the milkshake instead of the Molotov cocktail. Don't throw Molotov cocktails. If you have to throw something, throw milkshakes. I got a little time. Let's see what kind of questions you guys are asking me on here real quick. Let's see in regular chat. See if you guys got anything interesting to say to me. Tony Robbins hungry? Yep, Tony Robbins is hungry. She isn't skilled at walking. No, she's not the best walker, that's for sure. Shout out to Death Grips. I already did that. Okay, cool. Sloth Facts. Yep, Sloth Facts. All right. Well, that's it for the show tonight, folks. I really had a good time. I thank you guys for joining me. Man, this is such a blast doing this show. Those of you who are supporting me, it really means a lot. I cannot thank you enough for it. We're up to $343. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. $1 or $2, $5, whatever you can afford. It's by the month, so it only charges you once a month. And if we can get this up to if we get up to $1,500 a month, I'll add another show. So if you guys wanted me to see me do like a Wednesday show, maybe 6 o'clock, a little earlier for the European crew, consider supporting me on Patreon. That would be great. And like I said, if I get up to $1,500 a month, I will do a third show a week. Maybe I'll start doing a show just for Patreons. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but something like that. Also, you can. I didn't talk about this before, but I think maybe my clothing line might be dead. I might be ending the Cult of Dusty Logic wear line. I've been doing this for I don't know. I think I started this 6 or 7 years ago. I started doing this to support the other atheist channels because we weren't really getting any advertisers that were advertising on our channels. And so while the religious people were making all the money, we couldn't find anybody to back us. So I started a clothing line for atheism, and I supported a lot of the smaller atheist channels. And we did good. I paid Amazing Atheists tens of thousands of dollars. I paid Jacqueline Lynn's tens of thousands of dollars. We paid people like Creationist Cat, and I tried to get Baba Reloaded guys on here, but that didn't work out very well. But anyway, I've been supporting a lot of the smaller channels for a long time, but no one's buying T-shirts anymore, so I think my clothing line might have gone out of business. The guy who was running my clothing line, Steven, basically messaged me and said he don't want to do it anymore because he's not making any money doing it. No one's buying T-shirts anymore. So I think it might be the end of the clothing line, but if you guys want to support us still, you can still buy some of the T-shirts while they're left. Maybe if you guys will buy T-shirts, I cannot shut the clothing line down and we can keep it going, but it's not looking good. But anyway, CultsDusty.com is where you buy T-shirts. And I will be back on Friday. I'm only going to be doing the filters. Like some people, I did Snapchat filters last week, or Instagram filters, or whatever the fuck it was. And some people liked that. Some people didn't like that. I thought it was pretty funny. But for the people that didn't like it, I'm only going to do it once a week. I'm going to do it on Friday shows. I'm going to call it Filter Fridays. So be sure to join me this Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern for Filter Fridays. We'll be doing more fun Snapchat filters, and we'll be tackling more important stories. And until then, I will see you guys soon. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. And as always, till next time, logic, motherfuckers. Fuck yes. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Good night.